Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. Real talk and Derek, we're gonna begin in like 7 minutes. Tired, man. All right, chat was good, everybody. Welcome back. Hope everyone's in some good spirits. I'm gonna lower the music a little bit. We're here to talk some playoff basketball. Well, it's weird because it's like technically the finals is a part of the playoffs, but I swear the NBA last round doesn't really feel like the playoffs anymore. Like it feels like it's I would say regular season, then play-in, normal playoffs, and then the NBA finals. But we're genuinely in the last stretch. After this, there will be no more basketball for a couple of months. Let me get the Discord pulled up down here real quick as well. But yeah, today we are going to be discussing everything Spurs versus Knicks. We also are going to be recapping the crazy parts that were Game 7 as well for the Western Conference Finals and whatnot. Ironically, not really much to say about the Eastern Conference because that was just bad. I mean, that was literally 4 games, so there's really not much there. And they're gonna probably, I think, run that back. We also spent an hour on the Cavs on the last episode, so that's gonna be different for this one. But let me go full screen here. I'm gonna zoom in here. KB's in the building. KB, say hello to the people. They can see you now. I'm gonna unmute the voice chat as well so you can hear him.
Oh shit. We got 4-bite Derek in the building. MG.
4-bit.
4-bite Derek.
Yeah, we need more lighting in here. What's good, y'all?
What's good, DZ?
Hello.
Hey man, what's good, chat? You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there for the last ep. I was out. I believe was it? I don't know. I was doing something though. I was away from the house. I hope you guys have been good. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, actually no, I can't even say that because I thought the Pistons would make it. To be fair, but I think I've been my field goal percentage is 58. I think I'm good right now for the most part.
Okay.
The Cavs Knicks series, I think I had the Knicks winning, but Philly, I really wanted to make it to the ECF, of course, but that dream died. Sure. Western Conference Finals, I got everything right, everything. I said Spurs in 7 games. I said Houston will lose to LA. Obviously, and that's pretty much about it. I thought Denver was going to lose round 1 too, so I was right for the most part. And now we're here, yeah. But I hope you guys have been good, and yeah, let's get into this finals preview, man.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but I do feel like it's been a little bit disjointed in I think the overall playoffs. I think the West Conference Finals was such an insane moment. And then, on the other side, it's just not even, a real series where, every game just felt like boredom. And they just got completely swept. Two literal...
You knew what time it was. That's all it was. That's the best way to describe it. You just knew what time it was. Going into it, you were just it's bell time.
No, okay, I'll disagree there. We went into it expecting, one team to win, maybe. But after game 1... we didn't expect we didn't know what time Cleveland was on.
No, I'm saying after game 1, going into game 1, especially during game 1, I was thinking this is going to be a great series. After game 1 finished, I knew what time it was. That's basically what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. That's
I wish it was a 1-game series. After game 1, I was repulsed.
Yeah,
and I fully we spent too much time on Cleveland in hindsight. Last episode,
we spent an hour and some change on Mobley, Mitchell, all type of shit. Just for that to be and I have to say, it really felt like one of the most obvious sweeps because after they lost Game 3, I said I'm not watching Game 4. I know what Game 4 is going to be, and it's the most obvious blitz we could have seen there. That was kind of wild.
Yeah, it was gross and disappointing. I don't want to because the Cavs disappointed us so we skip over the Knicks. I feel like we'll talk about them more for the finals preview. Respect to them. You swept. You get all the rest. And we'll see if that, now we got Game 7 versus well-rested teams. How does that play out? But respect to the Knicks. We're not ignoring them. We're just kind of dissing the Cavs after spending too much time on them.
Gotta agree with what my man Lorenz in chat said. Analytically, the Cavs had a chance after game 1. This is true.
Analytically, some say they might have won.
That's why sometimes in life you got to put the analytics down. You know what I'm saying? You got to put down the plus minuses and really just watch the game. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Got to plug in. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Now you got to plug out. Don't plug in.
Yeah, unplug.
Right.
Yeah, unplug.
Pull the plug. Yeah, that game was disgusting. On the other side, we got one of the best series of the decade.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. Like
You
start
can
to finish.
argue outside of I'll remove my bias. So outside of 25-7 game, that was fantastic to me. You can argue this was like the best 7 game that we've had in this decade. Like in terms of narrative, in terms of build up, in terms of player comp, in terms of player quality, in terms of depth of game, in terms of like the game quality itself. I thought it was like through and through 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed the series, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we do have an Oklahoma City fan up here. Wes, what's good with you, brother? It's been a while since we've talked some hoops, and obviously we're now at the NBA Finals portion of it. Obviously, we're going to be like doing like a full overall OKC versus, I would say, San Antonio Spurs recap. But how you feeling, bro?
It's tough. It's tough. Didn't expect our season to be over, so it's very bitter, you know. Nothing sweet about it. But glad to be back talking hoops with the guys. But yeah, it's just been tough. Like, ideally, if your season was gonna end, I'd rather it end much earlier. Especially coming off a championship, not being healthy, thinking, okay, well, let's get the guys some rest. We played into June. We did everything we did last year. We just don't have the hardware, and the actual round. But still, it's like we had a very long season, and added even more attrition. And I know the guys are relatively young, but still, like long seasons do weigh on you. And as you see, with I think Dub more than anything, his lower extremities they just could never get right this year. And for us to do that back to back seasons and have nothing to show for it is tough. But hey, we competed for what it's worth. And I guess I'll find some solace in the draft being around the corner. But yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. I'm not too happy about that one.
Not yet,
Hey, man. It's what it is, bro. Well, at least I try to warn you. Yeah, but
I tried to warn you.
that's all I can say. Really, I tried about it. But it was a great season.
Warnings pre-injury it's not the same. It ain't hit the same.
I hear the J-Dub injury
we don't die.
is for sure.
Like if Dub and AJ don't die, I do think we beat them.
Yeah, but I can say
we should have
Harper
should have beat them anyway, bro. We're 9 points away.
Yeah,
9 more points, or just having them score whatever. We win. So it's unfortunate how it played out for us. Unfortunate we couldn't. That Hartstein block from Cornette, man. I think that is what sealed our fate. Keldon Johnson made some big threes in that game too. That fourth quarter specifically. It's like those are the 3 plays. But it is what it is. We're here now, so
yeah. I got to be honest about how I came into the series. I had OKC as my preseason pick, and something that we have to be honest about with Oklahoma City before we get into like how the series actually played out. This team was so dominant without Jalen Williams for most of like the regular season and even the playoffs. It felt like even though he was gone, this team didn't really miss a beat. And there were some people out there who were saying, well, this season they've been better without Jalen Williams playing. And I felt like to beat the Spurs, you would need to be fully healthy at the end of the day. But even within the series without J-Dub, they had amazing wins. I mean, I have to say this, like their game plan was we're going to let the others beat us. And they almost did. I mean, bro, Alex Caruso was a flamethrower in this series. He was killing that repeatedly over and over and over. And I can't say this enough. shout out to the other Jalen Williams. Might be the real Jalen Williams. The way he was hitting threes in this series, I think a lot of people had low expectations for him. And it's like the depth of those players stepped up in so many of these games. But I do got to say this. I expected Shea to look better than what he played like for the whole series. And I think all of that, plus the ball handling going down, putting more pressure on Shea, led to the overall series that we got. But it was a fantastic series. I loved it all. I do got to say this again. The theme with OKC is losing game one extends these overall playoff series. Because again, if you win game one, I could damn near argue even without Jalen Williams, you have a great chance to still overall win the series. But like dropping the one at the very, very beginning to give up home court immediately is just a tough spot to like consistently rebound from, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I thought for the most part, again, the series was great. Like I was saying, it was one of the best series that I've watched in like a very long time. But to just talk about, of course, you talked about OKC. I want to talk about the Spurs really quickly. Like,
yeah,
I don't think in my lifetime I've never seen a team so young, so poised, like ever. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So for like, given how young some of these players are and how much they're being relied upon, how they executed from games 1 through 7, the fact that Dylan Harper got like an adductor injury or something along those lines, came back, was like a shell of himself for 2 games, but the last 2 games of the series basically turned up. And in game 7, the game of all games, to be a rookie doing what you're doing away from home. I don't know if you guys still call it Chesapeake Arena, but that's what I still call it, low key. But like to do it there basically is like, it's insane. We know what type of atmosphere that place holds. So like, huge credit to him. Huge credit to Champagne, who I've been like very critical of throughout the series. Like offensively speaking, at least he was horrific in my opinion. Like he could not make a shot to save his life. And then in a game 7 again, where I felt like the Spurs for the most part of the series, the shooting variants weren't really going their way in terms of like the 3-point shooting. Like they didn't really have like a lot of games where they were like spanking you from 3. I think it turned up for them in the best game ever. So that's basically it. I thought Wemby was solid. I'm not going to say like he was amazing, but I don't think he was poor. He was just like playing like he was like floating kind of like he was just like there. Vassell was amazing too. Stephon Castle continues to amaze me. Like the fact that this core is just like this young doing what it's doing, obviously being led by Wemby, it's just an amazing achievement in of itself to get to the finals and to beat a team like Gifted said, who are 24-1 to start the season, arguably one of the best defenses we've ever seen in our lifetime, and an MVP caliber player who some people feel like was unanimous throughout the season because of how good he was throughout the regular season, right?
Yeah.
To be able to take them 7 games and to not only basically shut out the back-to-back MVP, but then to ascend yourself and to push yourself and to win game 7 on the road to then get to the NBA Finals, led by year 3s, year 2s, a year 3 Wemby, like a rookie Dylan Harper, like all of their vets are like the ones not playing for the most part, besides like De'Aaron Fox and like Harrison Barnes, I guess. But like for the most part, the rest of them are like young, inexperienced guys who haven't really experienced deep postseason playoff play. Again, besides Harrison Barnes, so like it's extremely, extremely impressive what the Spurs are doing, in my opinion.
I think KB, to that point, it's funny you say like the next super young, impressive, composed team, you know, to use your words, was last year's Thunder team. Like that's the thing. I mean, if there's a trend to follow, it's certainly that. I mean, to like use the analogy in football, a lot of contenders nowadays use their QB's rookie contract as their building block. You get yourself a really, really good young quarterback, build as good of a roster top to bottom around them, and then that's your window to compete. Because as soon as you got to pay that quarterback, now you got to like start cutting some legs off, and you're just not as well rounded as you could be. And it feels that kind of way a little bit right now for the Spurs, and certainly the Thunder, obviously like paying their big 3, and that's been talked about a lot of like, what are they going to do this offseason? Is Dort gone, etc. And we'll kind of like get to that eventually. But I think for the Spurs, it's the composure for sure, I think is so exciting because you're seeing it from a rookie in Harper. And to Wes's point, he's talking about those kill shots. The Cornet block for sure was, I mean, I never thought we would have a call that was going to emulate LeBron James chase down block.
I watched
let alone
go, I said, wow.
Blocked by Cornet.
Like, never seen him run that fast in my life.
ever.
or jump that high.
Right.
But like insane regardless. But for me, the two shots that stood out, one was the three with, if I remember correctly, 3:45 in the fourth to go. Straight away three from Dylan Harper. Calm, composed, looked like he shot that 1,000 times this season, which he did not, but drilled it. And then I think it was sometime a little bit before, this midi that Harper had tried to get going from the right-hand sided wing. And just throughout the series, it was brick. Honestly, the whole postseason, he just could not get to fall. Same like shake and bake, sidestep, drilled it. And I was like, that's not good. Like, that's not good if you're the Thunder. Like, now he looks comfortable. And yeah, I mean, to find comfort for a rookie in Game 7 against the previous champs, Western Conference Finals, I mean, outrageous. This rookie class is beyond special. Harper's a beyond special player. And yeah, I like, it's really cool seeing this young team grow and go through this battle together, just like the Thunder did. And I know like it doesn't, now the Thunder feel old comparatively because that's just how it goes. But it's like, it's crazy. It's something to pay attention to. You've got a bunch of 23, 24, 25-year-olds are now like kind of running the show. When, 3 years ago, we were talking about how there's no baton passing. The old guard, KD, Steph, LeBron, like, where's the baton being passed to?
I remember those talks.
Now,
yeah,
it's all the old stars. They're the only ones relevant. They're the only ones doing anything. And now it obviously feels like that baton has definitely been passed. So really cool. Really cool.
I agree. Not gonna lie. I do feel like though, like with OKC, I don't want it to get too like, obviously we're gonna talk about like what their offseason is gonna look like and what did go wrong for them in the series. But it's still like, to Wes's point, like you didn't have J-Dub throughout the entirety of basically the season for the most part. Chet, who was all NBA caliber, all NBA as we all know it, was a shell of himself in the Western Conference Finals, which I think we'll talk about as well. And like your best player had games in which like shots he's normally seen him make throughout the regular season just died in the Western Conference Finals. So like some things just didn't go your way. That's what kind of just happens in situations like this. With the amount of games that you play throughout the postseason, you just kind of need a little bit of luck, whether that be through injury luck or people just not making their shots and dropping off like in different areas. And it just unfortunately got the short end of the stick. It happens, I'm not gonna lie. But you lost to another team that's great, similar to you in terms of age, similar to you in terms of they have a player who's of that caliber to be the best player in the world and whatnot, and who looks like he's gonna try to push himself to be like, I don't want to say the LeBron because I don't want to do that to anybody yet, but like be the player who's like you know how we had like the Steph in 16, but now LeBron's there, like we can't like, you know, like, and Wemby might reach that elk if, like I said, it's a big if, but yeah, like it was a great series, like all in all, but not the Spurs, to Derek's point, are just like an amazing team, bro. I thought for me at least, from like I told Gifted in Denver and everybody that I knew, like from like December onwards, if they were my favorites to win the title, I'm not gonna lie. There was just something different about this team. I'm not gonna lie, that I thought like, yeah, this team got it, bro. They got it.
So like something else that I think is super important to highlight, right? The impact Isaiah Hartenstein had in this series. Like I remember there were some Thunder fans out there who were like, we're gonna let him go. He's replaceable. There's guys there, this and that. I truly feel like the impact that he had in this series alone makes it feel like if he just leaves the roster, they're gonna really miss having a player like that. Because again, the rebounding, like he was finding ways to impact the game throughout many different teams. And granted, it kind of tailed off towards the end of, I would say, the overall series. But just having a guy be that good of a cover on Wemby was a pretty good thing for them, right? Like he was a huge part of like opening up their valves throughout the entire game. And I know that like there's things OKC has to do with the cap that's going to be very interesting. Apparently, Shea doesn't want Lu Dort gone. I mean, me personally, it's time to go. Sorry. I don't think $18 million for a player like him, which I will say, Wes, like he actively was taking multiple, I would say, lineups for the entire, I would say, playoffs, but especially in this overall series. It's funny because both of these teams are in what I would say a completely separate routes. Chet is getting paid. J-Dub is getting paid. Shea is getting paid. Wemby is still on his rookie contract. Harper is too. Castle is too. The wild part is Fox is going to be the highest paid player on this team, and their cap sheet actually goes down next season because Harrison Barnes' $21 million is expiring. So they could go get some other good players and be an even better team next year. So how that will, like, I would say transcendent is huge, but there's an elephant in the room I do think we got to talk about. I think there have been a lot of talks about Chet Holmgren, and a lot happened. I think overall here in the series, I'm gonna just be honest. Chet's not getting traded from this team. I think people have to really, really, really relax with that dumb shit to me, because Chet very much Chet Holmgren specifically has been the floor for what OKC has been able to accomplish these past 2 years. However, when you look at the one team that can actually rival what OKC does, it is the Spurs. And in that matchup specifically, Chet just didn't have it. Like, if J-Dub and AJ are gone, you expect your next all NBA player to step up his offensive capability. And Chet looked extremely limited. I think the biggest thing I would say beyond his overall mentality is the shot's too slow. Like, once they got a good enough, I would say, closeout, which they have many athletic wing guys, right? Like, he couldn't really shoot the ball, and he just lost all confidence. I mean, bro, 2 shots in a game 7, do or die, to go to the finals is just not acceptable, But that doesn't mean trade him for anything. I'm not there either.
I get what you're saying. I do think I've been saying his jumper is a bit slow. Like, there shouldn't be a moment's notice where people are able to close out on you when you have like 3 feet of space when you catch the ball initially to shoot. You should be just in one flow. And even if as a big man, like someone like Brook Lopez, at least have a higher release point. So if you are a slow like jump shot, it's harder to block as well. But like, I do also think in terms of like Chet's just aggressiveness was horrible. Like in the Lakers series, you seen like he understood DeAndre Ayton, Rui Hachimura, not the greatest defenders. Like, I'm going to go at them. Even if there was elite rim protection, he's still going to be like, I'm going to go at these people. Be aggressive, right? You have Devin Vassell on you, Champagny. I've watched times where you had De'Aaron Fox sealed, and you didn't even call for the ball. Like, imagine you have your 7'2" guy sealed, and you have De'Aaron Fox behind you, and you don't even put your hands up to catch like this. Like, those things can't happen, in my opinion. You can't not be aggressive, especially in a game 7. But throughout the course of the series, the lack of aggression was just horrible. Like, we get it. Wemby is down there. But that doesn't mean you can't impose yourself as someone who can be a threat to score. That's the main takeaway from this. He wasn't a threat to do anything offensively, in my opinion. The spacing was not really there from him. And the inside the arc scoring, the post-up mismatch hunting wasn't there as well. And then defensively, I thought, of course, he's still like going to be fine as well. But I think there was moments throughout the series where guards felt like as if they can just go at him, which isn't like, it's the Rudy Gobert thing where like people don't respect you even though you are elite at what you do kind of thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's what was going on with Chet. And that's the last thing I'd say you want to be. Like, where people tend to like not respect what you do on both ends of the floor. And especially offensively, you need to be better.
I know if Wes wanted to jump in,
Yeah,
I don't want to dogpile just yet. I mean, I've got my OKC takes, and
you can jump.
Mean, there was a lot said. I didn't know if Wes wanted to comment on that first.
I mean, Wes,
you can rock. I'll wait.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. Welcome, Real Talk, by the way. Whenever he gets booted up, but I mean, for me, the first thing that jumps out, just from an OKC game plan thing, before I jump like dogpile on Chet, Jared McCain being traded at the deadline and then becoming your second foremost shooter, like, of the basketball, attempting shots of the basketball. That's what kind of confuses me. Like, obviously the hierarchy is Shea and then everything else follows. But McCain being from 6-man spark plug style to basically second offensive option is a curious one for me. And obviously without J-Dub, who probably should be in that role, that would change things. You lost AJ Mitchell. His role was growing. But there not being like a definitive hierarchy or like a better game plan for me is really what's confusing. Like that's what's kind of like befuddles me. And then to the point of Chet, I mean, going from averaging 20 against the Lakers to averaging 10, albeit that's a much better defense, but like to KB's point, I don't disagree about higher release point or speeding it up, changing techniques. All that's great. I don't really care. You have to live with the fear of getting blocked. And if you're 7-1, 7-2, and you get blocked once or twice, shake it off, buddy, because you're going to have to take those shots later. Unfortunately for him, he decided I'm going to take 2 shots with my team's season on the line. That's inexcusable. There's nothing you could say to me that would be okay. I'd rather him go Deion Waiter style, like 0-12. Empty the clip. You tried. You were there for your guy. I trust you on the other end, trying defensively, albeit team never felt comfortable putting him on Wemby. That might be a conversation by itself. But he worked on at least on one end of the basketball. Offensively, it was just inexcusable. Like, put your head down and just charge at Wemby. See if you can draw a foul or two. Who cares? Whatever happens, happens. Turn over the ball. Like, you saw your offense drowning, especially when Shea had to hit the bench. Why you're not there for your team is beyond me.
Yeah. I think the most disappointing thing is just that to everyone's point, he kind of just decided like, hey, I want no parts of this offensively in Game 7. It seemed like 1 through 6, I didn't have my best stuff. Was only really good for one game offensively, and even in that game, it was the first half. The second half, he didn't do anything. He scored 4 points, didn't contribute, but he scored 12 in the first half. So it was like, but I mean, his best game was a 16-point game. And I think he just got to Game 7 and was like, look, I got y'all on this end of the court. Y'all got to have me on that end of the court. And it doesn't work like that. Like, basketball requires, because, again, it's not football. You don't get to sub out when it's time to go play one side of the ball. You have to be ready to contribute both ends. And he just didn't. He turned down multiple open shots. It's funny though, it's funny too, because some of those possessions we converted, right? Like most of them we actually did. It didn't hurt us per se, but he was really, really embarrassing in that Game 7. In the series, he wasn't great. But Game 7 is the most alarming part of the entire thing. I was cool with 1 through 6. I wasn't overjoyed. I was a little disappointed, but it's like, you there are things that I expect to get from you and things I don't expect to get from you, especially without Dub and AJ, who help usher him into his game. Like, that's just the reality of the situation is he feeds off of them. They are his creators. He gets everything in the flow of the game. We don't call it out a lot of plays for him. And because of that, he has to eat off of his creators. Okay, well, one of them is not creating for him. It just, Shea doesn't even pass that nigga the ball. Like, it is what it is. Shea will spam iHeart. Shea will turn down good shots to try to spam iHeart. Like, and we saw that in the series, and it was bad. I think it's a trust factor. I also think it's just a positioning thing. Like, Chet offensively, he doesn't position himself well, and his base, that's what it is for me, man. His base has to get stronger. I don't care if he does nothing else. His base has to be much stronger. It's not strong enough. He's not, like, post injury. I think you could see that some of the fluidity and the mobility is not quite the same. But he had an off season to recover from it. We won the championship last year as well. So it's like, hey, you should have been able to provide more, and he just wasn't. So hopefully, this off season they focus on maybe gaining about 10 to 12 pounds. He's at 208 right now. I think it's a failure if he doesn't come into the season pushing 220. And I think his lower half just has to get stronger. I think that's the difference in Wemby's game. Wemby, obviously, he has some things that Chet just doesn't have, but they're very similar. Very, very similar players, except for, hey, Wemby has a really, really, really consistent thing in his game in terms of his lower half. He can establish position. He can punish small players. He's not afraid to go at people because he knows when I can take a bump, etc. Chet is the complete opposite. Can't take a bump, can't punish small players because they leverage themselves against him and his height against himself, really, and he doesn't know how to counter it. Plays too slow, doesn't process quickly enough. So when he catches the ball, there's never a one dribble pull up. He always wants to catch, dribble, spin, turn, oh, boom, boom. Nah, you got to cut all the fat out your game. Offensively, you got to play faster and do less. Less is more for you, especially at 7'1". To KB's point, yeah, release is low, and it's slow, but you're still 7'1", bro. Playing faster will do so much for his game. But it is what it is. I think anybody saying trade him is pretty ridiculous. He had for sure top 20 season this year, borderline top 15. And anybody who's trying to move off of that because of a bad series, it's just like these overreactions. We've seen a lot of bad series in our lifetime. So, just hope he takes this one personally and gets to it this offseason.
I want to say before we get real talk in, probably and it's going to be the nastiest comp, but Chet deserved it after that game. Who had a worst 7-game series this playoffs? Chet Holmgren against the Spurs or Jalen Duren versus the Cavs?
I know his name's coming. I knew it. Oh,
Jalen Duren against who?
The Cavs.
Jalen Duren.
I'm only taking the 7-game series because I guess we could take Orlando, but I'm only taking the Cavs.
I might have to go Jalen Duren. I ain't gonna lie. Jalen Duren defensively just collapsed. I think Chet still maintained defensively, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Duren was not like that defensively in the Cavs series game.
He's done.
Yeah, moments here or there defensively.
I was curious if the game 7 especially scared enough people off of Chet just for that series.
Nah, I do think the trade stuff is crazy because
not the trade stuff.
He's such a unique player that I don't think you should trade him, and he's another one of those players to me, excuse me, I don't want to say Jamal Murray because I think Jamal Murray, but he also had an All-NBA caliber season. He's one of those players where it's you can't really replace, if you get what I'm trying to say. It's hard to replace a player like that in the system that you're trying to run, if that makes sense. But also at the same time, it's the scary part is you're paying him a certain amount of money. And I don't want to draw back to money, but when you start getting paid a certain amount of money, there's going to be a standard in which you're held to. He's obviously already shown he's an All-NBA caliber player. You're going to be seeing this team for quite some time in the future. They're not going anywhere. Obviously, no massive injuries, hopefully, knock on wood, all that good stuff, right? You're going to be seeing them for years and years and years to come. You're going to have to develop these things, bro. Some of this stuff just can't run in a 7-game series versus the Spurs. And just it's the aggressive stuff for me, man. I don't care if you go 0 for 15, genuinely. If you're taking good shots and they're just not falling and you're still giving impact on the defensive end of the floor, yeah, you might have been ass offensively, but I can at least say you took good shots and you were aggressive and smart in your aggression. There was no aggression. He wasn't smart offensively. He just didn't look like he wanted to be a part of anything on that end of the floor. But yeah, real talk, man. What you think of Chet, man?
What's your real talk?
First off, how's everybody doing?
The mic is not micing. I think you have the wrong.
I think you chose the wrong mic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's all good. We'll let you get that sorted, man. You know what I'm saying? Family friendly show on that.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's better.
Now you're super.
There you go. Yep.
Got a storm out here and it knocked out the power and stuff. And so,
Oh wow.
Hopefully
number
okay.
one, Wes, put a smile on your face or something. You look kind of down and stuff. I don't really understand. That's actually what you get though. You came up here several episodes way too confident. And I think that not just for you, but many of the OKC fan base, you got the big head. Y'all thought y'all was the shit piss, and the tissue. You know what I'm saying? But come to find out, the game's got to get played, and you have to actually win the series. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't even know why we're talking about Chet. This series is on SGA. We didn't look when Denver lost. We didn't look at Michael Porter Jr. was Jamal Murray was. That's not what happens with the best in the world. You're required to be at a certain standard, and quite frankly, there were far too many a game this series where Wemby just vastly outplayed SGA on the basketball court, and particularly the one that came back to bite him was Game One, where
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox isn't playing. By the way, AJ Mitchell is playing. By the way, Jalen Williams is playing. By the way, not Jalen Williams, but J Dub. Right, so you can't even have the AJ J Dub excuse. Chet is available and playing as well. De'Aaron Fox again doesn't play. Stephon Castle has 12 million turnovers that game, and you still find a way to lose because SGA, like he did several times in the series, was sub 40% from the field, right? So I don't give a damn what Chet did in Game 7, respectfully. I've never been high. Many of you all know I've never been high on Chet as an offensive player.
Yeah.
Never have been, never will be. He's 7'1", $195. What are we actually talking about right now? He's gonna get knocked off balance routinely in a physical setting in the playoffs because he's 7'2", $195. That's going to happen. The difference between him and Wemby's already up to, I think they have him listed already at like 240.
He's 235. Yeah.
Right. So that Wemby shit is already, that comp is dead to me because Chet's been in the league now for how many years and he's still a stick. And I don't think just because they still both slender frames, clearly Wemby's able to fill his out pulse more than Chet. I just feel like for me, it's not like we should sit here under the assumption that Chet hasn't been trying to gain weight, correct? Like I feel like for everybody to know that is a weakness of his and something he should probably do. We think he's actively not trying to do that and just isn't seeing the incremental growth that he wants to see. What would suggest that Chet's going to come back 12 pounds heavier next year?
I mean, it's not anything to suggest like it for sure will happen. It's more so like, hey, I think that should be the focus, and I don't think the focus should change. The focus, and even if it's not 12 pounds, say 7, whatever it is, the again that would get him to 215. But my main point of it is the base, getting a stronger base, and I do think that is something that can be achieved this offseason. You come off of last year, and granted he came back and he played, but most of his previous offseason was spent still trying to recover. He broke his hip, got healthy enough to play basketball, didn't really get to go through a recovery process though in terms of really stabilizing it to the degree that you want to, regaining that strength to the degree that you want to, et cetera, et cetera. And I think some of those things may have reared their ugly head in this postseason. But no, I'm with you about everything you said about his frame and his, like, it being a harder task, a steeper mountain for him to climb as opposed to Wemby, due to just their body makeups and clearly what Wemby's been able to do in 3 years and that Chet hasn't been able to do in 4. But I do think that it's still a reasonable thing to go into the offseason for he and his team to say, hey, this is a part of the focus. Let's still try to add some weight. Let's still try to get a stronger base. And now that we're not spending any time recovering, let's hit it hard. Like take a week, maybe 2, but then we gotta really, really be focused on getting stronger as a basketball player.
I mean, to that point, Wes, and I don't disagree. I will give some bail to Chet as far as not putting on the weight because recovery is a factor. Like your strength and conditioning is just getting your ailments fixed and getting comfortable with yourself back out there, that usually means it's difficult to put on muscle mass. And then any fat you're putting on is not going to stick. So it's fine that Chet's still a twig. That might happen. It is what it is. What bothers me is, again, the lack of aggression is the psychological thing you need to work on as a player before anything else. And if I were him, sometime probably a month or two from now, I would be talking to the players and be like, hey, this is the kind of thing I'm looking for next season as an offensive player to get my game off to help the team. There were a few times I saw the Thunder players, guards, Caruso, Shea for sure, look off Chet in the post where he had a mismatch, maybe had a Vassell on him, Champagny, anyone who's just shorter, which aside from Wemby is everybody on the court, but just looked him off. Didn't even give him the chance to try and fail or try and succeed. So there is something there where it's like, okay, you're mentally already out of it. The few times you're in a position, either, and I saw him call for it at least twice in the series, and they just looked him off. So it's like, you need to remedy that soon because you need Chet as a viable third option if you're going to be a championship contender again moving forward. He has to be a viable third option.
I think
we can get by with him as a fool.
Okay, well, not
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
A third
especially
option is guaranteed 15 to 17 points a series. That to me is a must. Chet has to clear that.
Yeah,
I mean, but
yeah,
I still don't see why he would have to if J-Dub and AJ are available in some of the series.
For one,
Chet is a play.
J-Dub, that's not a guarantee, and that's fine about AJ's development, but to me, Chet still has to firmly carve out a role so his guys at least trust him to go do that.
Big. That's what he is.
I think he can be a little bit more than that, and I think just like calling him just that is just not enough for me, especially if he's not going to look to like a play finisher, like for instance, like the lob finishers and stuff, where it's like you're already in the action is one thing. For Chet, a lot of it's not a lot of lobs. Obviously, we've seen it this playoffs. But if he's hesitant to take the
point guard
threes,
doesn't make rim reads.
I said it earlier.
But I think that's the thing he's got to talk about.
Not too much.
He's got to talk about that.
Not too much.
I'm saying if he had a point guard that made rim reads, he would get more love.
And J-Dub, and that is where the lion's share of his offense comes from. They are who feed him. With them not being in the lineup, I'm fine with you pinpointing, hey, others on the team, and maybe he needs to speak to them in the offseason and make it a point of emphasis, yo, you all can't look me off, et cetera, et cetera. But some of those players also just have deficiencies in those areas in which Dub and AJ don't have to the same degree, the same extent. They are like, it's them and Shea has shown everybody, yo, Chet is not the guy who I look to when I'm trying to create for others. Anything that happens, I'm typically either going to rely on iHeart or I'm going to just kick back to the perimeter. Dub and AJ are the people who, hey, we play in our two-man game, and we get you going. The lobs, everything you're saying, it's been an issue for us as Thunder fans for years. Yo, Shea never throws his nigga lobs, but you know who does? Dub. So it just became a balancing act, and it's not to throw him bail because he still was like putrid, and he should be held accountable for that. But the balancing act, part of it was missing, and not just one, but two. Two of those guys going, it was really tough because those are our second or third best scorers and our second or third best creators. It's a lot to ask of Chet after that. To like, yo, well, go get your game off. Because he hasn't been asked to do that at any point while he's been with us, to do it in that facet. This is the first time he's been in, like, for sure, series, but even in the predicament where, yo, you got to be able to go get your game off, and you don't have anybody who can help you go do it. So he failed. It's unfortunate.
I hear it.
I have.
Wait, I just want to say one thing, please. Just one thing about AJ, real quick. I hear the J-Dub thing. I definitely hear J-Dub. J-Dub is a fantastic player. We all watched AJ in the series. I'm not saying he would have not helped.
AJ wasn't even that good when he played.
But gang, he was not that really. He wasn't
I mean,
that
as
good
a
to me. Like,
series goes along, though,
point that I'm
players make
making.
adjustments and
Yeah.
stuff.
true,
Yeah,
I hear
right.
it, but it's not like
Absolutely
he
on
played
that.
8 games. He play like 3 games or something? Like,
He played 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I feel like
Look how
throughout the
much
games
better
it was,
Stephon Castle
And
was in Game
and
7
and I was gonna
juxtaposed
say
with
that to that
Game.
but
point
you
real
can
talk.
still see
Right.
He
like
was much better
I
in
hear
game
it, but you
2
can
and
still.
in game
My thing
3
is this:
than he was in game
with
1.
Stephon Castle, the turnovers were
Yeah.
an issue, but you could still see the scoring aggression. You could still see the decision. There was a base there. What base was there with AJ for me? Like, I'm not even saying it as in like a hatred thing. I was genuinely watching him. I felt like
He
his
was one of
creation
our
wasn't
best
really the
passers
greatest.
in every game he played. Game 1, he had 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Game 2, I think it was like 2 assists. It wasn't the same, but the ball handling duties and again the creation. It's not a made up thing. It's something that was like, especially for the 2-man game that I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking to how he would have helped Chet, and I
Yeah.
think the ball handling, the probing, and the consistent. I'm looking for you. You are who I'm calling to come set a screen for me. And off of this, you know how we play. It's just a chemistry thing. It's a synergy thing. I'm not saying he would have gone crazy and averaged 20 again. Obviously, that would be silly of me. I think he still would have had issues in the series. But being the void of the 2 people who he fed off the most, I don't think can be dismissed based off of a 2-game sample in the series.
I don't think you can at all dismiss it. I just feel like for me, the largest thing to me is that Shea as your best player, I think the limitation he showed me was the lack of like off-ball feel. Like not being able to like consistently get things off the ball and having to create everything on the ball all the time, try to make plays like that. I think it was harder for him to do that consistently in this overall series. Ironically, like I would say argument that like, the coverage is hard. Like Shea got to his spots in this series. He didn't make the shots. And that's fine. That happens, right? Like that's a regular part of, I would say, playoff basketball. But the counter intuitiveness to just like have more plays be able to be made off the ball, if it's, I would say, maybe off ball shooting, or if you're trying to cut, like those types of things and having those counters, I think that's what Shea needs to probably work on a bit more, because outside of that, a lot of these players were severely limited in their roles offensively. I mean, where would they be if they didn't make a trade for, I would say, Jared McCain? It would have been like a way different series at that point.
Series would have been wrapped earlier. I'm not gonna lie, if they still had those same injuries as well. But yeah.
Sure. I to get back to Chet, I just feel like I don't know. I've never been high on this archetype of player. Um, to me, the best version of this is, oddly enough, like Anthony Davis in a way. Because here's the problem that Chet and Evan Mobley are running into. There was once upon a time in AD's career, he was like a pretty slight player himself, playing the 4. But for that era of time, he was definitely more than enough skilled enough to like get away with playing the 4. Then he comes to LA, and then we ask him to kind of be full-time 5, and he starts gaining weight. But to Anthony Davis, in comparison to Evan Mobley and Chet, he's actually big enough, or at least could fill out his frame enough to legit be a full-time 5 for most match. I mean, really, the only time we really couldn't get away with that was basically Nikola Jokic in the league, and probably Joel Embiid if he was healthy enough. The point I'm getting at though is like that's the best version of that archetype. But Chet and Evan Mobley, they're so they're so their center of gravity is so high and they're so slender. So I don't think there'll ever be a point to where you can full-time 5 them, especially in a playoff setting when
Okay.
physicality ramps up. And so then you run into the problem that some people, because Lakerland was, we need to put AD back at the 4. We got to have AD back at the 4. But then it's like, well, is he skilled enough to be a 4? And that's kind of where Chet and Evan Mobley are, in my in my opinion. Like theoretically, yeah, you probably need like an iHeart or Jared Allen alongside them, or Jared Allen another 5 or whatnot. But like, are they skilled enough offensively to be a 4 in modern day basketball? And I don't think they are. I really don't. And what Evan Mobley can at least do that Chet to me can't is punish Smalls better than Chet. I don't feel like Chet even can do that because again, he's even taller than Evan Mobley and slighter than Evan Mobley. So he's not big enough to be a full-time 5, in my opinion. And he's also not skilled enough to be a 4. So you kind of run into this
And that's like, what is he at that point?
problem.
You don't know where to put him.
Where like, yeah, I know. I just think he's always going to be offensively
That's a bit of
a
an
strange
overreaction.
player.
I feel like
I
you're
think
losing me here. Can I ask? So what's the?
I
don't
thought
wanna
also Mobley's ball handle was handling the ball and getting downhill. Like in terms of self creation, I think is better than Chet. I actually do think out of skill set, I think Chet's the better shot maker, but I think skill set, like in terms of like the AD comp you're making, I think Mobley's closer to that, like for the offensive stuff, in my opinion.
And that's fine. And I think to what Real Talk was saying with Anthony Davis, AD was a far more fluid and quickly put on more muscle faster for sure. That
Mhm.
was a big
He's
reason
the better
why.
4 and 5
Yeah.
than them. That's
Right.
why it's
Yeah,
like
right.
He's better,
Right.
man.
And unlike Mobley and Chet, AD did have time at point guard in middle school and high school. I think Chet and Mobley were just lean forever and were basically in tall boy positions for everything. But so my thing is, again, I'm fine with like wherever your ceiling is for Chet is. If we disagree on that, that's fine. Or like I don't really need the placement for that. What I'm disagreeing with, I guess, is the sentiment of Chet is simply too lean. He can't punish the mismatches. I'm not asking for a great deal from Chet, but the priority to me, obviously, it's health, whatever. I agree with Wes. Like putting on weight, I think ultimately will help Chet because the agility's fine where it is. Like defensively, I don't need him to lose any like speed. Everything's fine. What I care about is like whether it's a hook shot, whether it's a turnaround, whether it's something, anything to attempt 3 shots closer to the basket a game is my priority.
Yeah.
Like if you want to say 2.5, fine. Like if you really think AJ Jarrett, everybody else is going to fill out a healthy J Dub, that's all well and good. But just something you can do where you're not resigned to just 3-point camping in the corner. I think he can do more than that. And it's the same thing with Mobley. And we've said this same thing about both of these players for multiple seasons now of developing their game. And we know how crucial it is for Mobley in Cleveland to develop the game because that is what is raising the ceiling. Having to rely on Harden and Mitchell to create everything caps you very quickly. And Mobley showed a little bit more in this playoffs. We know what happened to the Cavs, but that really wasn't on Mobley. For Chet, like OKC didn't lose because of Chet, but for that ceiling to stay where it is as a championship winning team, he has to develop that game, has to be a little more reliable on offense to some degree and not just pure play finishing. And yeah, I don't need Chet to be a full-time 5 or anything like that. The position to me doesn't have to change. Clearly, iHeart and him are a great combo. They should extend Hart this season. But Chet still has to make it a priority to be able to do something. You're 7-1. You can punish a mismatch by simply just turning and shooting, or do what the rest of your team allegedly does and grift. Like, get the same hack calls that many bigs get in this league. You can go to the line. You're a good free throw shooter. If you give me 3 more attempts, or I should say like 2 more attempts per game, we're good. Just slight differences are going to make all the difference for your team and your game.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
saw
gonna
Chad
lie.
multiple times in the series get stonewalled by De'Aaron Fox, Dalen Harper, Stephon
Vassell.
Castle, Devin Vassell.
But this is where he
And
needs
it's
to
like,
improve. Real talk. I'm
but
not. He's 24.
what is he
25?
going? What is he going to improve to do? What with them physically?
Up and under, turn the shoulder, turn it into a hook, fade away. Like he has enough skill as a shooter. I'm not opposed to that. And I'm asking for like 5 possessions a game of operate down there. 3 of them can be pass outs. 2 of them have to be shots. That's what I'm asking for. But just some kind of, here is something else we can throw that is not SGA, congratulations, you're back at the top of the key making decisions until iHeart gives me a handoff. Like some variation so we can prevent the stagnation of OKC offense.
I don't understand why he has to. If I'm OKC, I'm comfortable I'm looking at J-Dub and AJ Mitchell, and okay, if they're good enough, then maybe offing one of them to potentially get back the reliable second offensive star player that I'm looking for. If I'm OKC, I'm just not looking at Chet. I mean, of course I want him to get better, but I just never think it's going to be feasible for him to be like this. Oh, we need Chet to. I don't think you want to put yourself in that kind of position. And granted, he's
average 15 points a game. To take more than 2 shots in a game 7.
Yeah, I'm saying he needs to be more. He needs to be more offensively. He's more of a cherry on top than part of the cake.
Nah.
If SGA part of my cake, obviously. If AJ Mitchell and J-Dub are as good as some hope to be, let's say J-Dub and AJ next season are both 20 plus point per game scorers. Now I'm not looking at Chet like, oh man, we have to have Chet to get no. Like some games he's going to, sure. But I'm saying I don't want to look at Chet as far as he has to get. No, he's never going to be that in my opinion.
I feel you in some sense, but they were gone. So when they're gone, you do have some expectations. Whether or not it's, hey, go be Tim Duncan in his prime, like obviously no. But maintain what you did in the regular season. Don't drop. Don't have a 7-point dip from regular season to postseason in this series. Don't have a 10-point dip from what you did in the previous 2 series to what you're doing now. Stuff like that. It's just maintaining a certain level of play. He fell so far below that at the most inopportune time. So I think, to your point, I never want Chet to be our second best player offensively. I never want to ask him to do things that he's not equipped to do offensively. But to Derek's point, it doesn't mean you don't still try to improve your game. And it doesn't mean that you don't reach like a common ground and place as a player so that when you are in any type of situation where you have De'Aaron Fox on you or Dylan Harper, you can get your shot off. He couldn't get a shot off against Dylan Harper. 7'1", 6'5" Dylan Harper kept him from getting a shot off. No matter how you spin it, that's unacceptable. That can't happen. And you have to assess why that happened. And then you have to
why was he not able to get it off?
His base is he's too slight. So
mentality.
I don't think it's mentality. I think it was base. He tried to go at him. He got bumped off his spot. So then he turned over one shoulder. This is the thing with Chet. He predetermines what he wants to do. And if he cannot do that, if you can stonewall him, to Real Talk's point, then he kind of becomes a deer in headlights. And that's what happened on one of the Dylan Harper possessions specifically. He became a deer in headlights because, I tried to drive at him. I was not able to get by him. He also bodied me, and he was stronger than I expected him to be. And now I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to shoot over my right shoulder. Don't want to turn back and shoot over the left. I'm just very, very uncomfortable now. And now I get a shot clock violation.
And that part of it will be mentality.
Yeah, that's mentality. That's literally mentality. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like base gets you the problem that you're speaking of.
That's mentality.
No, it's physics.
He's 7'1", and he's slider
Real
frame.
Talk. We just heard Wes go through a height,
if you run away from the ball,
imaginary play.
That's not what that play was, though. We're not talking about.
No, he's talking about that play. The play he was just talking about.
I'm saying to Wes's description.
and then he turns around and he's off balance. That's not going anywhere for Chet.
No,
I'm sorry.
you
It's
left out the
not.
part where Wes said he didn't want to turn over his right shoulder. He didn't go back to his left. He was uncomfortable and then either got a shot clock
comes from
violation or
being
passed out.
I'm with real talk. That come to me, that play, it came from being off
Two
balance.
shots is not base. Two shots in a game 7 is not a base.
Though. That's not the game nor the play. I don't have an issue with you saying his mentality has to improve. I didn't push back against that. I'm talking about this specific play, and what I'm
That's
saying
fine.
is
Clearly, I'm talking beyond that play, though, Wes.
Yeah, but that's what we were on just now. And when you respond to that with, "Oh, it's not," but that's mentality, and we're speaking about the play, you can't say that I'm speaking beyond that. Either we're talking about the play or we're not. And in that moment,
the
we're
larger
talking
issue
about
was
play,
beyond that.
But I told you I was with you beyond that.
Yeah.
For that specific play, there was something that I was trying to address, and I wanted us to stay there. But we can move because we've been here for a minute, so it's cool.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like we spoke enough about the stick and Chet Holmgren. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
I hope it's not a day.
I feel like we should talk about Real Talk's guy up until he crumbled. SGA. You know, I do feel like in the 7-game series, he wasn't.
Real Talk's guy.
The thing is, one thing about Real Talk that y'all don't know about, he's anti-15, so he was a 2 guy.
Yes,
and then when 2 fell off, he was an anti-2 guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've never been a 2 guy.
Chet, I'm not gonna lie, Real Talk low-key has better footwork than Chet. If y'all lock in.
No,
100%.
I respected him, but that's not my guy.
You respected him when he served your agenda. We know. I agree. Yes.
No.
Agreed.
My guy means I'm FC. I've never been Shea FC. My guy refers to guys like this and Anthony Edwards. These are my guys.
FC.
Well, 77 could be your agenda in the playoffs, so that's why.
I don't want to get steered. Look, it was just a little joke. I don't want to get steered clear.
I respected him, though.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he respects SGA. That's fine. But regardless of the fact, SGA in this series in particular, I'm not going to extend beyond what he's done in the postseason because that's just not relevant to what I have to say now. Well, it is kind of, but larger point.
After you go, by the way, I'm going to read off a chat that is right on topic with this that I didn't get a chance to read out yet. So you go ahead, KB.
Okay, so I bet he just wasn't good enough. Like, just to cut it short, like he just was not good enough from a team that is built primarily based off of the back of his creation, especially as a scorer, like his scoring creation. As we all know, throughout the regular season, it was historic. Like he was doing things we haven't seen in quite some time. Obviously, the efficiency numbers being compared to MJ and the like, Curry, Kobe, all that good stuff, right? Like he was amazing. The first round comes in, he was great. Second round, it was a little shaky. I feel like the scoring did dip as well, but the Lakers did, to be fair, do a good job making sure he wasn't aggressive. But at the same time, you can see signs of like some of the shot making that was in the regular season weren't really there in round 2. Then we get to round 3, much more aggressive coverages. The double teams were there. They were hard shading and everything. But the reason why I'm not really as prone to give like these excuses is because I'm not saying this to Wes. This is just to the more general public. When you get compared and put in conversations with certain caliber of players who have had to see these coverages without the depth that in which he had, even though some of the players were hurt, and to put up the series in which he put up, it was pretty poor in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie. To go from what he did in the regular season, even the first round, to what he did in that postseason in the Western Conference Finals, that drop off is immense. Like immense. So like, and the off ball stuff's the issue for me. I feel like his off ball game really needs to like get not revamp, but just get better. Like, you know what I mean? The pull up shooting from 3 especially needs to be something that needs to get better. I'm not saying he has to be a sniper, but like respectable enough to where it's usable for you in a postseason setting. Because again, these things that you need to add to your skill set is especially for the Spurs and even other teams across the league. Like his rim numbers in terms of like rim, not efficiency, but like frequency, how much he gets there, they all dip throughout the course of the postseason. Like, and not just this one, but like multiple years as well. And then the shot making as well tends to dip as well. I'm not saying it's a massive dip, but you can see there's a massive dip. There needs to be other counters to his game for him to be able to get through where he needs to get through, especially in these later years, because the in-between stuff, especially between the Spurs defense, isn't bending the defense enough. yet. Like that's what I just genuinely think from this series, in my opinion. Like it was just a very disappointing series from SGA. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna read this off real quick and then y'all can get to it. But there was a early super chat that said, as great as Shea is, people have to chill on the being better than Kobe. It's just overall disrespectful. I'm gonna be honest, like I do feel like a big problem with this series is like a lot of people were going off of what was being said and like all-time comparisons. To me, Shea had an all-time, I feel like, regular season. I think he played very transformative basketball for a lot of the regular season, but he struggled in the playoffs. And part of that is I feel like he gets to the rim less in the postseason. I think there's a bigger overall, I would say, sample size of that happening now. And also, like, I know Real Talk probably is with me on this. I feel like defenses overplayed Shea a lot, where it's like they're not like they're trying to like blitz him super early on, and they're letting the role players for like OKC kill him. Like that's what I didn't love too much about. I would say maybe the second round. Like yes, Shea struggled to score, but they were overplaying him, and they got completely decimated in the series mainly because the other players killed them. Like I feel like early in this overall playoff series, the Spurs did the same thing. And I'm like, show it first. And then you start to actually double and blitz or like all those things. I feel like because he doesn't touch the rim as much, he's a lot more, I would say, reliant on his twos from mid-range dropping, and they're not dropping at the same overall effectiveness as it does in the regular season. So to me, I do agree with that, KB, because again, the off-ball stuff I think has to get better. If that gets better, I think that's a legitimate counter on top of I would say the pressure he puts as a basket to make him.
He just doesn't look to get
better.
to add to what you're saying. Like he doesn't look to get the ball back. Like he will get the 4v3. But if, for example, like if the ball is swinging and then the Spurs are rotating everything, he's not moving in a way to where he's getting the ball back in an advantageous situation. Like he'll give up the ball and then he'll just like it'll be chill. And then if he gets it back, he gets it back, and then he'll try to go to work again. Like he needs to be in like a constant motion against like definitely like teams like this as well, because it will help you in your isolation because you'll end up just getting a cross matchup that will just favor you, right? And then also, like, if you're in constant motion, the defense is always in constant motion too because you're their best player, right? Like, and the cutting stuff needs to be better too. Again, it's the Spurs, so Wemby is just gonna make up for a lot of the reasons why you can't get down there. But same way against the Nuggets, when they were loading up on you, it was difficult for you to get down there to be able to finish, even though their rim protection isn't the greatest. We all know that. Like against the Pacers, the rim stuff as well. Like I'm talking about the frequency, not just how good he is as a finisher. Like he needs to be down there more, is what I'm saying. It's not only just the Spurs series. There's multiple other series where you look at it from the standpoint of rim frequency in the regular season to the postseason, and these things are dipping. Like you need to address these things throughout the course of the regular season next season or even in the summer, because these things are like what's set for you to be almost unstoppable in a way. Because we all know the in-between stuff is fantastic for Shea. The isolation stuff is fantastic for Shea. But the three-point shooting, the off-ball stuff, and the cutting needs to be something that he needs to address, in my opinion, as a scorer. But yeah.
Yeah. My like sum up of the series summary and things that I would like to see change. A big point of emphasis for me was our offense and incorporating some things that allow Shea to be an off-ball player and him studying, his GOAT. All right, Kobe's your favorite player ever. He's your GOAT. Go study some more. Look at what he did off ball. Look at how he was able to be effective without the ball in his hands to start a possession. Look at where he would aim to get the ball to, generate his attack and generate certain looks and quality of shot, whatever. And these are both difficult shot makers. These are both tough shot makers. Really good at that too. So I think some studying, some film
for sure.
I'm not here to debate it. So cool. Point being is they're both good at that. And I think that he should, dedicate a big portion of the offseason to paying attention to that. But at the same time, I do kind of, on one hand, obviously, there are clear deficiencies within certain players on the team that were highlighted by the Spurs and things that should be, you know, fixed or at least, tended to. But at the same time, man, we took a team 7 that a lot of people thought were better than us fully healthy, and we lost our second and third best creators. I think that some of that does matter, like not even some. That matters. A big portion of that matters. It matters how we would play in the series. Also, J-Dub defensively, I think what he would do for our offense in transition. A lot of people complained about how slow we played and, oh, they're never getting out, they're never running. You're allowing San Antonio to set their defense. Well, our best transition player is J-Dub. So there are just so many things for our team that those two players do. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of tough to lose your second and third best scorer in a series and then be expected to win, and then not only be expected to win, but also when you don't have that desired outcome, then it's like a lot to do about your game and where you need to improve and what the roster is lacking and missing and all these other things, in a manner in which I don't feel like we've done to a lot of other teams when similar situations and circumstances have been placed upon them. I do seem to remember a team who, granted, way more top heavy than our team and that Cleveland Cavalier team, but yeah, when LeBron lost Kyrie and Kevin, it was grits. There were some people who, oh, you're the best player in the world, you still should be expected to win. There were those people. I think more people though still felt like, hey, he probably loses the series, and when they did, they
I
didn't
don't.
start going
I,
into no. That literally is how
no,
that.
I'm saying I don't think those two comparisons in
I
terms of
literally, I already laid it out. I already said much more top heavy team, different circumstances, but similar. They are similar. He lost his second and third best scorer in that series. We lost our second
He
and third best scorer.
performed way
That
better
matters.
than SGA
I
in
didn't
that
say he
series.
didn't. What I'm talking about is because he
So
still
I'm
had
saying
issues.
that's why
He,
we
he
gave
he had a bunch
a
of issues
bell.
though in that series. Did he not? It's not like
Yeah,
LeBron was Teflon. He peaked.
but he still played
Yeah, he peaked
SGA.
higher, but his lows were very
no,
similar.
he was just better. Like
No, I
I
didn't
think
say he wasn't
no,
better.
no, I know, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying
Y'all are
with
changing what
Shea,
I'm saying to make it
I get the
fit the
basis of you
narrative that
missing your
you want to
second and third
push.
best player, bro. My thing is with Shea, what when his shot making is not there, what else is he providing to that level to help keep your team
Yeah,
there?
most
Like
of the games in the series where he was
the
a
playmaking stuff to me,
playmaker.
yes, it was good, but at the same
No,
time,
it
and
wasn't
this is
just game 3 though.
this was I never said it was only game 3. I said this
You
playmaking.
pinpointed that game, and I'm saying it just wasn't that game though. It was
No, I'm
most
saying his playmaking
throughout the
stuff was
series.
good throughout the series, is what I'm saying. But I'm saying to you, for the most part in the series, and this is alluding to what Gifted and I think Real Talk mentioned earlier as well. A lot of the times, some of the defense that they were running on Shea was just a bit unnecessary. Like
Yeah.
you're 6 threes into Alex Caruso having a Klay Thompson game gang. Why are you still strong side helping? Like, there's no need for you to be shading this heavy when Jared McCain is at the hash and he made 3 straight threes already. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, some of the decision making was like, why? But Shea was doing a good job using that stupidity from the Spurs essentially to be able to then give teammates excellent shot attempts. With LeBron was still getting his offensively in terms of the scoring stuff against the. I'm assuming you're talking about the Warriors in 15. Like he was still getting his stuff as well. Like with Shea, I watched those games through and through. Some of those games I rewatched, bro. His shot making just was not there, bro. The rim stuff again was just not there. The 3-point shooting
But
that we thought improved throughout the regular season
It's really like the
again
rim volume
wasn't
for me.
there.
like you started, but earlier one of your takes was he was getting to his spots and he was missing.
Yeah, the shot making I said
Your rim
wasn't
take
there.
has been consistent. He's not getting to the rim at the same rate, and you think that's an issue. Facts. The mid range, you were one of the people who said, "Hey, he's getting to the mid range, and he's getting these shots that in the regular season were falling, and right now they're not falling." I don't think that is dissimilar from some of the things that happened with
I
LeBron.
mean, I'm
LeBron was
saying
very
that is
I don't
if
think he
you
was getting the
but a
same
lot.
shots though.
I'm saying that's cool. Real talk. I'm on KB right now for his.
My thing is this. Even sorry, let me clarify this. The shot selections that he was getting, some shots that he normally didn't make. I did feel like though throughout the course of the series, that the shots that he got in the mid range were well defended, whether he made them or whether he missed them. But he did for a good portion of them, like especially in game one. This is the game I'm like talking about specifically. In game one, I felt like a good portion of shots that he took were shots that I seen him make, and he just were missing, like basically. But throughout the course of the series, as the games continued, he did find a couple of those more shots. For the most part, the shots were well defended, or he didn't have a counter to get to. Like game 6, we all thought I think was a solid game from Shea, like decisive, got off the ball, got to the free throw line. No, sorry, not game 6, game 5. Game 5, he got to the free throw line and whatnot, like a lot. But a lot of the decision making from the Spurs were just bad. Like how many dumb fouls did Shea get from like Stephon Castle or Carter Bryant? Like those are the things I'm talking about, in which it's like you don't need to be doing those things and you're hindering yourself defensively. When they actually did not bite for a pump fake or were not doing some of the things that they were doing throughout the course of the series, they were able to defend him rather well, is what I'm saying. Like that should be something that it was a focus.
Good defensive teams defend players well. Sometimes you have to overcome that, and he was unable to do that in some of these games. And then some of them he did. Like he did outplay the quote unquote new best player in the world 4 out of 3 games. It did happen, and he was very below his standards. And he still outplayed him, and for 7-game series, 7 games that they played. So I don't know, man.
We just disagree. I don't think he outplayed him 4 out of the 7.
He did. It's not even debatable. Game 2 and 3, he was better. It's not. Games 2 and 3,
it's not a debate.
Game 5, he was better. Game 7, he was better. It's not a debate.
Games 2 and 3, he just wasn't automatically better. Game 2, he was better. Game 3,
5, and 7.
No.
2,
I
3,
just
5, and
disagree.
7.
I disagree. Shea did not thoroughly. I actually feel the opposite. I feel like Wemby was pretty consistently been the best player the games 1 through 7, in my opinion, especially on both ends of the floor.
Different. You could say he was a better player in the series. I said Shea outperformed him in 4 of the 7 games. Games 2, 3, 5, and 7. You can't.
So do you feel like Shea was the best player in the series then?
You cannot tell me Wemby outplayed him.
I'm asking you, do you think Shea was the best player in the series?
You to tell me that he did not outplay him.
I asked you. You're not going to ask me a question for a question. Did you think he was the best player in the series?
Answering anything. You disputed a claim that I made. You said, actually, I don't think.
Yeah, because I need clarify. I'm trying to find clarification. You said there's a difference between. You said you said throughout games 1 through 7, you can think that Wemby played better, but he outplayed him 4 out of the 7 games. That's what you said. So I'm trying to ask you right now: did you think Shea was the best player? Do you think Shea was the best player?
You're not speaking to me about those games. Please don't ask me any questions. I'm not
asking about the games. I'm asking about the series. Do you think Shea was the best player?
Until you address what I said first.
I already addressed it. I'm trying to find clarification to address your point.
So obviously, I missed it. So I'm asking you to do it.
Did you? Okay. Let's rewind. You said he played better than him.
Next person. I'm not doing that. That's something I'm not going to do. So either
you're not going to do. I'm addressing your point going from the beginning. You said he outplayed him 4 out of the 7 games, right? You said
I just want to hear your take on 2, 3, 5, and 7.
I'm trying to build clarification so there's no confusion.
Did you say to build? You've already represented what I said.
It's got to be like a middle ground y'all come to.
But this is my thing. All he has to do is just say yes or no. You said that.
All you have to do is answer my question. This thing that
I asked the question first. How am I being asked the question and respond?
I made a statement and you disagreed with the statement, and before you actually tended to
I disagreed and followed up with the question. That's literally what I did.
And I told you to actually address the things that I said first.
Because I'm trying to find a baseline. You just said.
Here's your clarification, KB. Here's your clarification.
Go ahead.
Games 2, 3, 5, and 7, I think Shea was better than Wemby. I want you to speak to that. Either do it or don't. Don't ask me anything.
Me personally, I don't think I disagree with game 3. I think game 2 he played better. I think game 5 he played better. And that's pretty much game 2, 5, and 7. Yeah, there you go. Game 7 he played better as well. Sorry.
Okay, so in game 3, because he shot poorly, he did not play better than Wemby.
I think Wemby on both ends of the floor was great. The problem with Wemby in game 3 was he wasn't getting the ball enough in that game. But when he actually received the ball, I thought he was like great in game 3. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that's just from what I've seen from Wemby across in that game. I thought Shea was good in that game too, though.
He was a better. He had 12 assists, 2 turnovers, completely controlled the game from a floor game standpoint. And I feel like, I'm not going to say this definitively, I feel like what's happening is that we're putting more blame on the Spurs for how they guarded as opposed to Shea for how he executed based off of what he was seeing. In that game, he was phenomenal. He didn't shoot well. He got to the free throw line though and found a way to be effective scoring the basketball without making a lion's share of shots. In the game where he was 6 for 17, he went 12 for 12 at the free throw line. So he balanced it out, maybe even better than that. And then on top of that, what he did was he had 12 assists and 2 turnovers and completely controlled the flow of the game offensively. And I mean, he had the Spurs in hell all night. And Wemby, where his impact was very, very meh at the very least, like meh. You didn't feel his presence in any way, shape, form, or fashion to the degree in all the other games where he actually was outplaying Shea. I don't think you have a real ground to stand on that he outplayed him in that game. I think you can say, well, he still played well. He didn't outplay him. He wasn't more impactful in that game. His presence wasn't felt more in that game. He did nothing better to a degree to a substantial enough point in that game to make it to where you could step away from watching that game in real time and not watching a box score sheet, not saying that that's what you're doing, but watching that game and saying, oh, Wemby was the best player on the floor in this game. It was clearly Shea. He just didn't make a bunch of shots.
Well, Wes, so if we go with
Clearly
2, 3, 5, and 7.
I don't. That's not.
If we go with
clearly.
2, 3, 5, and 7, let's just say that is the case. SGA outperformed Wemby in those games.
All right,
Can you answer KB's question now? Then, do you believe Shea was
the best player? Do you believe Shea was the best player in that series?
I don't know. What's the next one?
This is what you can't say. Wait, this is the thing that confused me.
I don't.
I outplay you 4 out of the 7, and you don't think I was the best player and you don't think you were the best player on the floor. How does that make sense?
My statement has nothing to do with that. And
those two things correlate. No, you can't outplay someone for 4 out of the 7 and not be the best player in the series.
Of that overarching point on the series. That's what it is. I think
Wemby was the more impactful player in the series.
Wemby peaked higher than Shea in the series, and I think in the games where he was dominant, it was just way like above what Shea did. I think he peaked higher, and I think his lows were nowhere near as low. It does not change the fact that in the 4 games that I pinpointed, Shea outplayed Wemby. It's just their lows are not similar. Their lows are very dissimilar in the series. Shea was the bottom of the pit in terms of low. Wemby was, okay, I was good tonight. I wasn't great. I was good, though. That's
but I think Wemby's version of
SGA had the lower lows and didn't reach the same highs. I don't even know.
Exactly what I just said.
In the games he's referring to.
Right, so then we can't reach a conclusion on KB's question.
You all can do what you do. I said
he's not going to say it because
I don't understand.
He's not going to answer the question because it's too obvious. We know the answer to the
my statement is about.
But my thing is this: in game 3, when he said you said he wasn't really, he shot meh or he played meh. He had the only problem with Wemby in that game, I felt like, was the fact that rebounding wise, that was the biggest issue. He wasn't getting boards, and that's because y'all were pulling him out the lane, and that's when Jared McCain as well as Jay Will, were hitting a lot of threes, a lot of threes, and they were able to stretch the floor, and Wemby wasn't able to get rebounds, and the rebounds were long, and that's when iHeart had one of his more impactful games. Aside from the defensive rebounding,
are you explaining to me why he wasn't as impactful?
No, I'm explaining to you the point in which he wasn't impactful. Correct. On the offensive side of the ball, he was the only thing going for the Spurs that was actually impactful in terms of creating shots and in terms of actually making shots as well. I remember this game vividly. I was confused as to why he wasn't getting the ball in advantageous situations, because when he did, he was punishing the Thunder consistently. And it wasn't like as if he was gone missing. He just wasn't getting the ball from his guards. So he wasn't meh. He was actually good in that game. He should have just gotten the ball later down the stretches because OKC was able to then extend their lead further in the fourth quarter. The whole point of what I was trying to say.
Were good though. When I say meh, I'm saying it's nothing special. He wasn't special, is what I mean.
I feel like his standard for special is a lot higher in this series though than Shay's.
Which I've already represented. I don't know why I have to continue to represent the same thing.
Wes, I understand that you were saying that. What I'm saying though is, even if we're gonna say that's a Meg game from him, a Meg game from Wemby can be better than a great Shea game based on how he's impacting the game. For the entire series, Wemby has had more impact than Shea in his minutes for the entirety of the series.
Not to mention the games in which it was like. The games that actually
how we see it, but game 3, I think Shea was better.
The games that actually like hurt them the most.
I've actually heard a group of people disagree with that. Now, granted, it doesn't mean like obviously I haven't talked to everybody in the world, but everywhere I have talked hoops,
and most people
everyone has agreed until this panel right here that Shea was better than him in game 3.
So, by the way, just for the chats, because now I've been looking at some actual data and information about Game 3. I thought this was the case about Game 3, but now I've confirmed. So, yet again, so just by the way, the final score was 123 to 108, right? So the Spurs lost by 15 points, but yet again in this game, this was a common theme, Wemby actually won his minutes this game.
He was a +4. It was a +11.
Yeah. So again,
maybe you're +4 on a losing team.
Yeah. So I'm exactly. So
I've got it.
Let's continue. Also, what come to find out, what really happened in this game was the first quarter, the Spurs dominated. Right, the Victor Wembanyama dominated the game. Victor Wembanyama went to sit down, and then OKC's bench took over the game. It even correlates in the plus minus in the first half. If anybody's interested in like facts instead of whatever we're doing right now. So Shea in the first quarter was -1. Chet was -15. Dort -15. Hart -15, 16. AJ -14. Right. But then also in that same first quarter, Cason Wallace is +10. McCain is +11. Alex Caruso is +10. Jalen Williams is +10. We get to the second quarter, right? Let me see where we're at. This is when the starters for OKC start to actually play well. So I do remember this is how the sequencing of Game 3 went. Game starts. Spurs on their ass. They then sub out. They make the rotation where Caruso comes into the game, Cason comes into the game, Jalen Williams comes into the game, and that group did a phenomenal job getting OKC back into the ball game, right? And then they basically are playing each other to a draw until basically the fourth quarter. Also, if you want to just the offensive rating when Wembanyama was on the court for the San Antonio Spurs was 115. When he was off, it dropped to 94. The defensive rating for the San Antonio Spurs when Wemby was on the court was 112.8. When he was off, it went to 194.4. For Shea, when Shea was on the court, and this is really good. This is no knock to Shea. They had a 127 offensive rating. When he was off the court, they had a 131.8. When he was on the court, they had a 115.3 defensive rating. When he was off the court, they had a 100 defensive rating. So they actually had a 31.8 net swing when Shea was off of the court. They won that game because OKC was so much better without their best player in Game 3 than the Spurs were without their best player in Game 3. That's why they won. As far as the performances, yes, was SGA passing to wide open people because they was doing that dumb double team shit? Absolutely. But if we're talking about good floor game, one thing that's going to be hard to win an argument against Victor Wembanyama is his floor game defensively. He's always going to be by far and away the most impactful defender on the court. And he still was, even in the game in which y'all posted a 120-something.
It wasn't the same level though. I mean, also like he went and told everybody, chat, oh, what happened? Yes, that's the game where we started off 0-15. That we were on they started the game on a 15-0 run. Yes, we brought in our bench players and our offense started playing better. And everyone started playing better because shots got easier because now you had other people who could do things on the court. And it's not that like crazy of a concept. Yes, that happened. It's unfortunate. They
But he
started
wasn't.
very, very
Sorry,
well.
go
They
ahead.
played really good basketball and they deserve
That
credit for
wasn't the
playing good
point. I was talking
basketball.
about the
But the
impact of the two
game,
players.
you said what?
I was talking about the impact of the two players. You
I,
said that Shea
but
was more
it's
impactful in
not
game three.
dwindled down
Victor
to a quarter.
Wembanyama was factually more
All right.
impactful in
So
game
so
three.
I sat and I listened, but it's not dwindled down to a quarter. Is all I'm saying. It's not dwindled down to a quarter. It was more than that quarter, and that's all I was saying, bro. Like Shea started playing better, and we did as a team.
Now he played great. No one's denying
I
that.
just want to say real quick. From my perspective, after 15-0 run, I was literally saying in the first quarter, and Derek can like 100% co-sign. I was saying if you have a 15-0 lead with Victor on the floor, I felt like he should have played the majority of the first quarter at that point. As soon as he went to the bench, they went on a run. And one of the prime suspects for this, by the way, is we're bringing up overall plus minus. And I'm pretty sure I know this off the top of my head. Real talk, please fact check me if I'm right or wrong. Keldon Johnson came in and was straight up a fucking terrorist with
Yes, he
missed
was,
threes,
bro.
with overall bad turn. I'm pretty sure he was a minus 23 in 12 minutes of play.
Yes, he was. I'm literally looking at it right now. He is a minus 23 in 12 minutes of play. In the first quarter in which you're referring to, he came in and played 6 minutes. He was on minus 11.
Him and Cornette have significantly tanked the minutes of what the Spurs have tried overall to do.
That's the type of stuff I'm talking about, is that when they opened this quarter up to the lead in which they had, and then Wemby went and sat down, and they quite literally did not know what to do on both ends of the floor for the rest of those minutes. And even when Wemby came back on the floor, and this is the thing that bothered me the most, they kept running, and this is we're gonna obviously talk about the final series and whatnot. They kept doing things that stop them from actually doing what they do best, which is going to Wemby in just advantageous situation, running guard to guard screens, go screens that then lead to an away screen that's not even set by Wemby, not running a back cut or anything of the sort. Like no empty side pick and rolls, nothing to actually help your offense generate quality looks. And that's when their offense started to stagnate, in my opinion. Like they just weren't. I thought offensively it was much worse from them than their actual defensive performance, to be quite honest with you. Yes, OKC players were hitting some crazy threes like Jared McCain and Jay Will and whatnot. But offensively, bro, they stunk it up. They were horrible. But Wemby, I thought, was good offensively. Damn near great, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like anything they got of quality, low-key just ran through him, which was like excellent in my opinion. The only thing that was a problem for him was just rebounding the ball. Like I don't know. Like I just think Wemby was the best player in the series pretty comfortably in my opinion. I think for Shea, when it comes to his shot making stuff, you just have to be better. And this is not to Wes because I don't think Wes does this. But in terms of and real talk, you know who I'm talking about, Gifted and Derek. When we're watching other NBA pundits, other creators, and even I won't even use Twitter, just other NBA pundits and creators compare him to the likes of Kobe, compare him to the likes of Steph Curry, and say he peaked higher and he was better than this version of Kobe and better than that version of Steph. Bro, these guys that we're talking about, those peak versions of these guys, those prime versions of these guys, had to deal with similar situations, not exactly, but tough defenses in a situation that's not really advantageous for them, and they still shined. They still showed you why they are the type of player, who they are throughout the course of the series and in a consistent basis. Shea in this particular series, when the things weren't going for him in an unfortunate way, did not showcase that, bro. The drop off that he had, I think, from his regular season numbers to Western Conference Finals is the lowest it's ever been since 1956. Those are things that are inexcusable, gang. I'll be completely honest with you. You can't let that shit run.
Yeah. The other thing I want to add on, and I do want to hear more from I think Derek on this too. My whole thing with this too is that Game 7 to me indicates Shea is indeed capable of having high level shot making against that defense. So it's not like he's not capable of doing it. However, being capable and actually doing it are two different things. Overall, in this overall series, Shea did not step up to that level almost all the time. The difference, though, is because of the coverage early on, the role players got an early start to this overall series with Alex, with Duke Dennis. All these guys got their shots really flowing in a good spot. Shea, when the rim is dropping on top of his mids not, I would say, going at the same rate, it impacts just how productive he was. And again, I don't want to be a on-off merchant. I don't want to be that. Like I do not strive to say on-off, 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 on-off. But if you're watching it, legitimately, that is where they lost this overall series. Whenever Wemby sat, it was an OKC run, almost 100% confirmed, and that's what got them back into the game more times than not, on top of the other turnovers, and then also the offensive limitations of Wemby at times. But how you feel about this?
Yeah.
You can go ahead, real talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I forgot what I was gonna say.
No, I mean, this has been an interesting conversation. I want to shout out ethically using stats. Round of applause for all
Very
of us up
ethical
here.
usage. Yes.
Yeah, great job. Non-agenda based, just deciphering the games. I
have some agendas, but I just think
it's just not weaponizing them right now. I'm trying to think, like, I've been listening to you guys, and I'm kind of thinking of like the longer or like the bigger picture as far as like why OKC's offense, where it succeeded and where it, faltered, and kind of got stunted. And like part of it is just the scheme. And, as we've all brought up at this point, without J-Dub and AJ, I feel like there was kind of a transition period this year as far as AJ's development, taking over a little bit more ball handling duty. Obviously, what J-Dub, normally brings, I think that affected the flow a little bit as well with OKC scheme. And, I just can't help but think of like where SGA improves from here, because I agree as far as like what he does shot making. I don't want to say doesn't have to change. Obviously, you want a few more to go in, especially like the bulk of this series, compared to like game 2 and game 7 where they go in. It's more of just like, how do you build and develop the offense? Because I feel like he just kind of he slows down and subsequently everyone else slows down, where it's like, this is kind of what I was getting at with the Chet point of like not being able to fall on other guys to bail you out of ruts, so then you can get back to your game and your game starts to open up, because the defense can now like has to relax off of you a little bit more because someone else has it going. And I think when it comes to OKC, if it's not Jared McCain actions with Hartenstein using a screen, it's a lot of SGA kind of like spray and pray a little bit. Like, I'm going to draw them in, kick. And then if the shots fall, it's cool, but it isn't to the point bending the defense permanently. They're still loading up on Shea, and then you rely on like Caruso, as KB said, went off a couple times in this series, like insane levels. But then there were games where Caruso, we all just kind of like, he just disappeared, like just didn't take the shots. And you can, like, I'm not going to say the Spurs didn't do anything to change that, but there were times he just didn't take shots. So because of that, that's not bending the defense the same as someone creating their own shot or putting more pressure themselves. And that's kind of where it's like, how does Shea get more help as opposed to Shea changing the shots he does take? So, I mean, I don't know. Like, overall, I mean, the button on the point of what started this whole conversation, I thought Wemby was the better player for the series. That's the conclusion I reached. I understand Wes's POV as well. I think there's a very good argument that he was better 4 out of the 7 games in total. But I think, as we all acknowledged, I think Wemby had the higher highs. Shea probably had the lower lows. And like part of that is the position thing. Part of that is just 7'5", defensive juggernaut. But it is like what Wemby can do baseline. If you can baseline get me 20 and 10 with great defense, that almost always will just guarantee you a great floor. And Shea can't do that, as basically like few other players can. So I don't know. I mean, that's ultimately like the conclusion I reached, is just like still MVP caliber play. I think ultimately for Shea, it's like, you lost a little bit of help. I think there wasn't quite as many counters for like the off ball development. There was a lot of
he should be
Shea
more like
sitting in the corner
in the post, Derek, or no?
Not really with this roster. No. I don't believe he'll need to be. I think he could honestly function there. I just don't think that's where I would put him at, because I think a big thing with Shea is him attacking from the wing, top of the key, and these straight line drives to get into the mid range. It is taxing on the body. I think what Coach Dagnall and OKC try to do is when they have kind of these 4-on-4s where they put Shea in a corner and let the rest of the team play. That's why they spam McCain or AJ with iHeart screens. It's to try and rest his legs so he can finish games. I think if you put Shea in the post, you're only tiring him out faster. So unless you develop the other parts of your game, like other factors of your game, and team, I should say, AJ, McCain, J-Dub coming back, Chet, etc. That's the only way you can really like prevent the taxation on SGA, because what he does, he is doing like Herculean stuff in the regular season as far as lifting this offense, when I personally think talent-wise, he does not need to long-term.
I think that, well, number one, I hate that the Spurs did that dumb doubling stuff. So, like, SGA fans get to get off this whack-ass playmaking shit to where, like, I guess, bro, but we saw when he was going one-on-one, there was no playmaking because he couldn't beat his initial defender. So, I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. When they played him one-on-one, he wasn't able to beat Stephon Castle. I also don't think he's able to post Stephon Castle either, because Stephon Castle's bigger and stronger than him. So that kind of would.
That's
be
why I'm not.
Maybe with some
Yeah.
maybe with some other of the defenders out there, maybe Fox or something.
I will say this though: when he saw Champagne, it was free eats, but
He was frying that switch every time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
that's
frying
true.
Champagne.
yeah. Yeah. Also, shout out to the one matchup he was able to actually cook one-on-one, because he couldn't cook nobody else on the roster one-on-one. So salute to cooking Champagne. Salute. Now, to the thing about SGA and his game improving, I don't know, man. Is he ever going to be a good pull-up three-point shooter? Just simply off his shot mechanics. That's a question, in my opinion. The off-ball stuff, again, how he shoots the ball, is that kind of jumper made for somebody to come off a curl and immediately get into a pull-up jump shot with his shot mechanics. Something that I've definitely noticed about him and Luka Doncic, they are left-hand players. They're left-hand shooters, rather, where majority of their shots are going to be off of their left hand, which is typical for a right-handed player.
Yeah.
But even still, the ability to shoot off both hands, the ability to shoot off multiple platforms. One thing that SGA does in the regular season that he does not do in the playoffs, in my opinion, is create. In the regular season, he's able to damn near like robotically create the same amount of separation, damn near, with his off the dribble game and then the off arm play, right? But I think that's more so because of how defense in the regular season isn't able to respond with as much physicality getting into the ball as they are able to do in the playoffs without it being called a foul. So that's why he's able to get that same amount of separation repeatedly in the regular season. Postseason time, however, he does not create the same level of separation. He also doesn't get by people as quickly and or as often as he does in the regular season. That's because of the physicality. And so then he kind of gets into this place where, like KB was saying in this series, he was getting to a lot of his same spots or shots. I disagree. He might have got there. It was way less comfortably than he's used to. I feel like the parallels between him and James Harden are abundant. It's not like just a running
I've heard
joke.
you've been calling him.
They are definitely scheduled scores. Bing, 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 bing. It's kind of the same thing repeatedly. And if you can't stop it, they'll do it every single time and score every single time. Bing, 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 bing. James is a step back three. Shay's a step back midi. But it's pretty robotic and it's straightforward and it's right in front of the defense all the time, at the top of the key or maybe slightly on the wing. I think that's also a problem, that he's always playing right in front of the defense, just like I thought it was a problem that James Harden always played right in front of the defense. It's not going to be tenable for as long as you may think. The rim frequency stuff, I don't really harp on that. That's based off how a defense is guarding you. I mean, if they're going to crowd the paint, then yeah, his rim frequency is probably going to go down. But
it's not just
he's going to be an isolation pick and roll player. And for me, him and Luca, if they want to be this player, right, and kind of say to hell with versatility to a certain extent, then you have to all the way master every counter in pick and roll in isolation.
I think Luca's
And
closer to that though.
the one thing that SGA definitely needs is a pull up three out of pick and roll to
That's
be
what he
drop
needs.
coverage.
You don't wait, Wes.
Like
You don't think in
if
terms
he
of
wants to be
Above the
if
break
he
shoot, above the
wants
break
to
shoot you
be
talking
a
about.
pick and roll player all the time, if you want to do that one play style that much, you have to master every counter out of that play style. And one of them is pull up threes. The reason why Jalen Brunson is about to have more success against San Antonio is because if he gets a good screen and Wemby's sitting back in the paint and drop coverage, he's going to pull up and hit a pull up three out of pick and roll.
I mean, I
Shea
agree. I
simply
think
doesn't do that.
I did
Great.
now how much more success? Because it's a
Great.
very low bar. We're talking about like 39% shooting from the
It's gonna
field.
be a
Like,
fun
yeah,
combo
you
to
just
talk
gotta shoot.
about.
You could shoot 42. You could shoot 42, 43, and you had better success. You know what I'm saying? But like Shea, I do think I agree. Like the pull up shooting has to be better, and I think Luka, in terms of what he showcased, I'm not saying Luka's better than Shea now. In terms of his scoring and stuff, he's showcased to be more resilient with those pick and roll schemes and having more counters. Because we all know Luka's just a better like a court mapper, passer, all that than Shea. I'm gonna be
I mean,
honest.
we can say it
I
now
mean,
that
like we
because I
and his scoring
go ahead, bro.
resilience. So no, it's okay. His scoring resilience as well is just in the playoffs throughout his career. Again, he's been here longer, but has proven to be more just better in the postseason. Like the pull up stuff, the pick and roll stuff, getting downhill. He's stronger as well. He doesn't get pushed off of his spots too. And I just think it's just the 3-point shot for him. It's just something that he can rely upon more than a Shea, in my opinion. So I do think Luka is closer to that, but I do think both of them do have to improve too. So yeah. What Wes? You seem to be
They both don't shoot pull up threes, and they both don't. SJ does more than Luca. He shoots off of his right hand more than Luca, but they both don't like shooting off of their strong hand. They both don't shoot pull up threes to beat drop coverage. In fact, what Luca does to beat drop
Luka
coverage
has a step
is
back though off the drop. Like, that's the
I
thing.
no, but it's still that's not a
But that shot dies a
that
Are
shot
little.
is
you
harder.
talking about just
That
come? Are you
shot is
talking about
harder.
come off the screen 2
Talking
feet
about
pull like
come
that?
off and rise. The Donovan
Come
Mitchell.
off and pull
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a real pull.
Yes, you need that if you want to be damn
Real
near
quick, 1-2
strictly
pull up off the
Wait, can
yeah.
I?
pick and roll player.
How
You
often?
need that needs to be a shot in your game.
How often
It
though?
just has to.
Can we be honest though? How often do you see Luka in a situation? And I'm genuinely asking this because I can't remember off the top of my head. Where
Mhm.
it's a drop enough deep for him to just walk into these threes. With Shea, I felt like in the series and real talk, I don't know if I told you this. I felt like, and this is no disrespect to Shea, they should have gone under some of these ball screens from the top of the key. Like, I'm be completely honest with you, bro. Unless it's like,
I agree. I would go under on shade
yeah,
sometimes.
like I'm not fighting over the top on some of these ball screens sometimes, gang. I ain't gonna lie. With Luca, respectfully, I'm fighting over the top because the pass is deadly too. But I think he can get to his left-handed little step back, like you know what I'm saying?
People played deep drop on Luca as well because they figured out, and this is what Luca do to try to beat drop coverage. But again, this is because he doesn't like shooting off of his strong hand. So get a pick and roll right where the pick is on his right side, so it's going right.
Oh,
The
he'll
big is
sneak
in a
left.
deep drop. He tries to do that snake to then
Yeah,
step back on the other side because this nigga just refuses to shoot off of his right hand. He just refuses to do it.
oh,
That is a
man.
problem. If you again, these two players want to be that they're ball dominant, ISO, pick and roll heavy guards. Okay, cool. Maybe we won't see you too much in the post. Maybe we won't see you too much off ball. The least you can do then, if you're not going to offer us much versatility, is to perfect everything there is to perfect as a pick and roll score and a isolation score. And both of them don't shoot pull up threes, and they need to if they want to be a better basketball player.
Yeah, it's fair. Everybody can improve. So here's what it is. I think I'm smiling, just like we were. It is.
Yeah, I'm smiling too, man, because the more Real Talk is talking, you know what I'm saying, talking his shit, saying his points, the more I'm realizing that nigga 30 is different, man. Right hand, left hand, off
Oh,
ball,
here go
40
this nigga
feet,
KB.
swinging, step back.
So,
Damn, nigga, he had it all, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll see
We
how
old, man. We old.
next season pans out. I think that not the greatest series, but it happens, and I am the fan, so I can be the homer. I can be the one that's giving them passes, whatever, bill, however you want to slice it. I do think that things change for him if he has just another viable creator consistently, let alone two. And I don't think there's reason for panic. You could go look at film. You could try to improve your game, look at spots on the court, which he said he will do. They had success. So I want to see what they were doing to have this success, etc. I agree with Real Talk, trying to consistently create from the top of the key in games where he played well. A lot
That
of
shit's
times
hard,
coming
bro.
off losses, we shifted it. We shifted. All right, let's create from the wing. Let's get you moving when you get the ball, so you're not just standing still.
That
At
was
least
literally the Denver series, Wes.
I was talking about this series, but yeah, all of that, and I think those points are fine. I think the mid range shot much tougher in terms of like crowding my space, a lot more physical. In terms of the defense that the Spurs played, so yeah, I don't think he was as comfortable. But those are shots I'll live with, and there are games where he made it. There are games where he didn't make it. I don't think the shot really changed in the series. Sometimes you just got to go and figure out ways to be effective when you don't have it going, or just make that shot. And unfortunately, this was a series where we really needed him to bring his best stuff, and he didn't have it. But a minimal changes at best, man. Like, the only thing I really want to see us do, incorporate an offense that allows him to play off ball more. That's it. And the willingness from him to do so. So that if he is being guarded the way the Spurs were by any team, or the way the Lakers were, we have viable counters. We didn't have counters as a team. Screw just the player. As a team, we did not have enough counters to how teams would try to scheme up for SGA. And I think that, that's something we can address. But as the player, nah, he's amazing. We're better than Luka, so I don't really care about how good Luka is. X, Y, or Z. We're better than him.
You're a better regular season player for
And
sure.
no, we're just
That
better.
postseason,
No,
he's
better
better
regular
postseason.
Bro,
He's
like,
better postseason player.
it's easy to forget.
You're not a better playoff player. No
That's
data
fine.
suggests that.
What I'm not
No
saying
data
he's a
suggests that.
playoff player.
The eye test don't
The eye
suggest
test
that.
doesn't suggest that
That's
either.
cool. I never said it did. What I'm telling you is, in the playoffs also, Luka has fallen on his face several times.
What,
And-
Shea just fell.
did.
but that's the whole point, bro. The entire point is that no matter how
one fell earlier, the other
you
one
can
fell
fall
later.
on
They
your
both fell
face
once.
and you can be exposed, and you can get to the finals and actually not get the job done and look like a shell of yourself, and have one of the biggest people in the world complaining about your size and telling you that you need to lose weight and you need to adjust the way you play basketball and all these other things, a question in your
That's
heart.
all the
You can
aesthetics
come
around it.
off of a season where you make it to the finals and you
That
can
was
have
a series in which he still
not
averaged
believing
28, by the
you
way.
and tripping you out and all these other
He still
things.
averaged 28.
It
He wasn't out here
it
getting
doesn't matter.
clamped like
It
this
doesn't
other
matter
Wes
how
has
nigga.
not done
much
this
you average. Was he
twice,
effective in that series
just
or
this
not?
podcast.
Are we gonna lie about how
He
was
he will
effective in
make
that
great
series or
points.
not?
It sounds like a great conclusion to like a
He
segment,
just started
and then he
drifting.
just talks himself into a corner and sets it off. Like, damn,
Man, it's all good. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No corners.
Shea
no
was cool,
corners.
man.
I mean, I don't know.
Again,
Stop
I don't
running.
know, man.
getting
If
the
Luka got to play on the best defense ever, I don't know. Maybe he look a little different. I don't know.
like the fact that
maybe he beats Indiana in a final
Maybe he
round. I
doesn't
don't know.
struggle. Maybe he
no
doesn't.
Hallie,
I
by
don't
the way.
know.
No Hallie.
Maybe he cooks Andrew
We're
Nembhard a
not
little better
talking
too.
about that.
No
We're
Hallie, by the
talking
way.
about seeing certain coverages and
You
struggling
know.
with certain coverages. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
how
what coverages?
well he adjusted with
You talking
everything.
about? Oh, you remember? Oh my God,
Oh.
how great the universe is.
What's the
Gifted.
next topic though, man?
I remember.
I think we've
I'll get
done
to the
enough.
tomorrow season talk with the
You're
Thunder.
not the host of the
I
show.
think we've
You're
done
not the
enough
host
for
of the
bigging up
show.
niggas who can't even
You're not
finish
the
the
host
fucking
of the
season.
show.
The
You're
way
not
he
the host
said,
of the
Enough of
show.
that. Like we don't need
You're
to
not
talk
the host
about
of the
Definitely should
players
talk
show,
finals.
and this isn't your
in the off
platform.
Yeah.
season.
I'm going to finish my statement. So either
He
you're
ain't
going to let me
played since
finish, and we're
March
going to
or
be stuck
April or
here
some shit,
for a
man. Like
little
he's
bit.
not a
Okay, I guess we're going to be stuck here.
That's
He
what
I
I'm
guess
talking
we're going to be
about.
stuck here.
April. Why are we
I guess we're
talking
going to be
about
stuck
this
here.
playing, man?
I guess we're going to be
I
stuck
mean,
here.
both
Hopefully
y'all
he
season
So
ended.
Hopefully your
like
boy
I
can
was saying,
strap up eventually.
gifted,
Hopefully
like I
your
was
guy
saying.
can strap
It
up.
was funny. It
Talk
was
to me
funny.
as a man, nigga.
It
Don't
was
talk to
funny.
him. Talk
It
to
was
me. I'm the
funny.
one who's
I'm
talking.
talking to
I'm
you.
talking to
I'm not
them.
Y'all,
not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. You're
Oh,
emotional right
okay.
now.
That's the gimmick.
So what's funny is
Let's be
is
efficient.
that Booker got criticized all finals round in 2024 because he couldn't score 101. You remember that? You remember that? Do you remember that? And
It
funny
was a good
enough,
time.
every time the Spurs was like, oh shit, Stephon, just like check him. We're not gonna, hey, oh that help, hey, we'll need it. Hey, Stephon, go out there and check him. Was clamping that shit. Hey, Dylan Harper, hey,
He was getting foul trouble too, though.
hey, don't need, we'll need all that help. Dylan, just check him. Was getting clamped. He had one good game scoring good one-on-one against their worst defender. So again, salute to him. Got 30 off on Julian Champagny, but that ass is at home. And now niggas is emotional about it. I don't know. Niggas want to be better than Kobe till it's time to be better than Kobe.
I knew Kobe was gonna come up.
There it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. Man,
Listen.
Destiny still arrives all the same.
Listen, they told me he peaked higher than this guy.
And then there it is.
Got the Curry jersey. We gotta.
They told me he peaked higher than this guy.
All right, now I gotta.
I would love to join KB on that side, but we gotta pivot.
Hold on. Derek. We have been getting screamed at that he's way better than these people.
Right now.
Of course, we're going to say this now.
No, that's true. That's true.
But y'all are the ones that go around saying it all the time.
Has done nothing in this league that we have done. Nothing.
Oh,
Nothing.
God.
Nothing in this league. What are you doing?
He's not on the best team in the league.
He has nothing.
He's not on the
Shea
best
still
team
doesn't
in the
have a
league.
playoff series equivalent
He's
to what
not
Luka
on the
did versus
best
the Wolves,
team in the
but
league.
we can pivot.
He's not
We
on the
can
best
pivot.
team in
We
the
can
league.
Gifted.
I don't want to mute.
Luka versus the Clippers. What series does Shea have as good as that?
I don't think he has one.
Seasons,
We don't care.
Guess who did though? Shea.
We don't care.
It's not like
season player. You're a better regular season player.
Turns out we're not okay with this loss.
And guess what? He got 4-1. He got that hardware.
Better regular season player.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
the hardware shit. The hardware shit is cool. The hardware. No, okay. No. Wait. I'm gonna talk now, right? The hardware shit is cool, but we do gotta keep it a band. We do gotta keep it a band though. If we're gonna be comparing Shea to Kobe and Steph and all the other players, when you underperform and people call it out, I get it. It's understandable. It is. I don't want to live there though. They got the Curry Kobe jerseys. No. Put the jerseys up, man.
The room.
At least the Curry fan actually has some Lucas stuff, all this pontificating.
Get that clip, Jeff.
Pontificating.
There you go.
Get the clip ready. Get the clip ready.
No hardware whatsoever.
You ain't fucking with 30, gang.
No hardware.
You ain't fucking with the GOAT PG.
Boy, that's the bliss of my ever seen one.
He lost them up.
I just know.
Come on. Now, nigga. Shit now. He the GOAT
now.
Top 5 all time. There's a reason why.
Okay.
Actually, not his second or third. Guess what happened to PG when he lost his best score and his third best score?
5 of them.
Okay.
Show me 22.
Okay.
Show me equivalent to 22.
Okay.
Show me. Show me
listen.
me equivalent to 22.
On a serious note, I do think we have to pivot this now away from this, right? had our fun. All that stuff is cool. There will be some more basketball to watch, but I do have like a serious thing I wanted to get to.
No, I grabbed it though. All right, we gotta go back. I already grabbed it. It's here. It's here. It's here.
Jersey out.
It's right here. No, everyone go back.
Oh wow. we got.
Right.
I gotta.
All right.
I gotta buy myself a K jersey then.
As soon as I leave. All right.
That shit actually kills me. Yeah. Right. So like here's the thing that I wanted to highlight before we got into the final series, right? What scared me after the series was done is when I looked at the cap sheets for both OKC and the Spurs. Specifically speaking, and I'm gonna read this off. iHeart has a $28 million club option for next season. It's been reported that OKC wants to keep iHeart. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but like I'm looking at it as how do we best match up with the Spurs if you're inside of the Western Conference? If you're gonna extend iHeart, I'm assuming Lou Dort has to be cut from this team, correct?
Because gifted sky is blue. OKC wants to keep iHeart and extend him. I mean, there's no other avenue. He is getting a cool 25 M's for 3 years. Congratulations, Lou Dort. Thank you for your service. Enjoy any other place that plays the sport of basketball. That can be this country or somewhere else. Peace. iHeart, congratulations. You're here. That's it. Nothing else has to be said.
I mean, but can like another team not? So like this gives me to my point, right? My prediction is this too, by the way. I think the Spurs can just overpay iHeart and get him as the real backup big over Fournette.
Spurs won't do it. They're going all in on youth. They're not gonna. This is an Al Horford situation.
Money. They have like 30 million.
They have a lot of cap. They have a lot of cap to do that if they wanted to.
30 mil coming off the books too. Like I think they could genuinely just give someone money. Like I'm being.
I don't think that someone's iHeart though.
Yeah, true. They could just sign someone. I think the free agency in this season isn't.
I mean, but Derek, what's their biggest weakness though?
Wait, hold on.
It's their backup big position.
Time out. Wait. I just realized somewhere else. LeBron's contract's tying up, right? Like it's
but the player option, you mean?
They need a 4, and they have like 30 million cap lined up.
Here go this LeBron shit again. Listen,
I don't even want LeBron in San Antonio, but I'm just saying it's there. It's there, bro.
Listen, all I'm saying, Derek, is that when I look at the Spurs, and again, I looked this up the night after the game ended, right? So this year, they were on the books for $182 million, right? Because Harrison Barnes is expiring, that goes down from 182 to 152. Wemby is still going to be on his rookie scale contract. Remember, they paid the sale early, so they don't have to pay him again. And the same thing can be said for Castle and Harper. What I'm saying is what we've seen so far in this overall series is where they bleed the most value is when Keldon Johnson's on the floor and when they have Luke as their backup playing. iHeart, to me, has shown that at the very least, he can be a very good backup big for the Spurs, and they have the money to overpay him. To me, I feel like the Spurs are focused with trying to be the best inside of their, I would say, conference. Obviously, they want to be the best in the league, but in terms of the OKC matchup, if you lose iHeart, you can't really replace that with a immediate Band-Aid to replicate, I think, what he brought. I'm saying, why can't the Spurs just poach him? I think they have the money to do it.
I just don't think iHeart's going to leave. It's not about do they have the ability to. I don't think either side wants it, or obviously
no one's taking players from each other, to be honest. Like that, I don't think that's going to happen. To be the possibility, like they have everything to do it. The likeliness of it is unlikely to me because of the fact that I think iHeart knows, like I won here, I've done everything, like in the height of my career here, like.
And my job's going to change, and he doesn't want to immediately go over.
Wemby not cut like Draymond, you know.
That's true.
Like he didn't go into the postseason with an L, you know, sour look on his. He may, you know, the finals are here, but they beat us, so we still gotta wait and see what happens. But I just don't think he's cut like that, and I'm not sure that the Spurs wouldn't choose to allocate that money elsewhere. And I also, to Derek's point, I just don't know that iHeart would really be interested in that.
More money?
No, he'd be going to be a full-time backup. He gets to be a starter.
You know, that's a good point.
That's a fair point to say. That's the thing. I think the Spurs, like I've voiced this the last 2 years, Gifted, that we've talked about this. The Spurs are playing the long game. It is not about I can cash my chips in on Vassell right now. You know, the Fox thing I think is going to be interesting because that money is what is really screwing the Spurs up.
Yeah.
Long term, just because it's so damn much. They're going to need some money on the books at some point to pay Castle and Harper. So they can't just go crazy and blow the budget on iHeart just by himself right now. They're going to want to get in some other depth pieces, especially if they have injury. I mean, even right now, this is not a supremely deep team. This is a very good team that has depth pieces, but like they don't have every hole plugged, you know? So I don't think they overpay in iHeart in this particular situation. I agree that a priority should be get someone else that's either better than Luke or just as good, so someone else can like actually breathe for a second. Like a real 4 to me, like to offset like Champagny spacing, but actually has size. That's the thing the Spurs could try to like fix right now. And like I said, I think OKC is going to do everything in their power to bring back iHeart, and I feel like the feeling's mutual.
I don't know how you feel.
Bring back Luke Cornett because
I
mean, Luke Cornett is one of the best backup centers in the league. You're really not going to get too much better than Luke Cornett. I think a more drawing absence in the roster, a gap in the roster, is the 4 that Derek is talking about. Like if they're able to land Aaron Gordon or someone of the like.
Look at the 4s real quick.
Yeah, then
on Spotrac.
To me, that's addressing something. And then just another solid bench player as well. They really don't have too many guys coming off the bench. Io would be. I hope Io doesn't. I think Io has a home in Minnesota. Hopefully.
I think the like other ideal thing is like that hybrid wing that comes in for Vassell, because Harper's guaranteed 25 minutes plus every game moving forward next season. So like, well, that's the thing. They have Carter Bryant. I agree. I think he is a 3/4. He does just no ball skills whatsoever to be like the 2. So they need that guy that can come in for Vassell. You know, ideally is a decent shooter, but someone who can actually just dribble and move. You know, along with that 4 that we're talking about. I feel like that's what, you know, completes your 10-man if you're San Antonio.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize, I keep on, I would say, mentioning iHeart primarily because there's also a thing now in this new CBA where you have to be above your cap floor before the season begins, which means you're going to have to overpay someone. And I'm just saying, if you're the Spurs and like you wind up not getting these other players, iHeart is a legitimate impact player that would make you better at a position of need, where I think if he needed to be at the 4, he could play that next overall to Wemby at the 5. That could be viable for them, right? Like, I think Wemby really makes it easier because of his way to space the floor at the 5 spot. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But these are the best 4s in the market. And I hate to say this name first, but he is up here first, and KB already has mentioned his name. Bron, KP, Tobias Harris, John Collins, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Rui 50, 40, 90 Hachimura. You have Kelly Olynyk, Maxi Kleber. Like, it's not many great 4s that you can see like actually being real impact players.
Collins wouldn't be a terrible fit in San Antonio.
As a backup, that's cool.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm gonna lie. I like MPJ, bro. I like MPJ.
I think that's the real. I think MPJ. Now again, he's one of the targets where pricey, and but I don't know if you mind committing that money to him. That's the thing. I think MPJ is someone who, when you look to move off of De'Aaron Fox, you can still keep him on the roster. That's one of the players who, no matter what's going on with Castle, no matter what's going on with Harper, Vassell, whatever, or not necessarily, because you expect them to be there. It's alongside them. That's the one player who I think, for sure, out of the list of names that you just threw out there, makes sense from an age standpoint. Obviously, he's a little older, but he's not like, I think he's on the same timeline as Vassell, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He might be
similar. So yeah, I just think it makes a lot of sense. And talking about what the team could use, a dead-eye shooter who rebounds is tail off and plays off ball, so he doesn't interfere with what you have going on in your backcourt with three guys who actually are constantly going to, be rotating on the ball. I think it makes the most sense in the world, man. And I think that if you do, you're talking about overpaying. That's the type of. And to Real Talk's point, Fournette is good. Like you may not be a great fit for this series, but he's a damn good big.
He's
And
been
that
up
was
and down
one of the
all
things.
postseason though. He's
He's a
cool.
backup center.
You
Like
give
it
it,
is what
you
it is.
give it
He's
one
he was one of the best in the regular
the regular
season,
season, yeah.
bar none, backup centers in the league. It's a backup position. I mean, there are going to be series in which there you can thrive, and probably some where you're not. Like you're not getting
That's fair
too
to
much
say too, though.
better of a
Yeah.
backup center than Luke Cornett.
Yeah.
It's
I'll
And
tell you.
just
I'll tell
find
you
him.
what. He survives the minutes better too if there's more size on the floor because
yeah,
Cornette just
with
being
the
able to
four.
clean
That's a
up
good point
glass,
too. That's a good
Yeah.
point too.
not getting stuck. That
I don't
to
disagree
me
with
is
that.
that's the thing. So if they can get a little more size behind Wemby, like just imagine the guards they're able to deploy. Carter Bryant, who's just an absolute nut job, you can let go on any like best ball handler for an opposing second unit, and then one guy that can actually rebound with Cornette. You're straight. You're good.
The only thing the pushback I would have for MPJ is
The injury stuff.
the money as well, and then
Yeah,
on
that's
top
right.
of that, what I'm asking of
He's an
the
idiot.
fourth for what not even it's just what I'm asking for the four with San Antonio, right? Is yeah, MPJ does rebound. I do think he rebounds for his position, but
Yeah.
it's can you rebound against centers? Because Wemby's probably going to be roaming off some non-center player, right? In this upcoming series, it's going to be roaming off of Josh Hart, which means that that's either leading Champagny or Vassell to battle with Cat to keep Cat off the offensive glass, right? Now, does MPJ do that to like a high level? I don't think so. I think they need a power forward.
Like a real four, you
Power
mean?
being the key word. Yes.
Right.
That's why I like Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon can do some of that. He can battle on the boards with a five. I don't know if MPJ does that.
It's just dangerous to me because I think, as much as I like him,
The injury stuff,
I
bro.
just don't think it's there anymore, man. I don't think he will consistently be able to hold up for a regular season nor a postseason. So
You don't have to
I
play in
would
the
just
regular
take the
season.
bet. You said what?
I don't think Aaron Gordon got to play in the regular season with this team.
You don't gotta play as many
Like,
minutes
at
on this
all.
team. I can see that.
That's fair. Maybe if you reduce it enough. I'm weary about going because again, it's already bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you a lot of money. And if it's something I'm really trying to depend on, I'd rather go with the cheaper or younger player for sure. More reliable body and a player who, I think some of the things you said for sure make sense with having a four who could be like a backup five and guard up and do those things in the post, the physicality, etc. But again, a lot of those things are like tailing off for him because of his body, and it's not a bet I'm willing to take with the player who has been. We're going on what 3 years in a row rather, where he's had lower extremity issues. So I just wouldn't do it. I love the name though, and if it was a different circumstance, for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
just
say
like. Oh,
Go
sure.
ahead,
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, I predict the Spurs are gonna get a good player and might overpay because of how much money they're gonna have. Like, teams don't have this much cap available without making some type of big move in the offseason. They have too much money on their books.
They do. I just feel like they're gonna spend it in like 3 players as opposed to one
Okay.
big fish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
okay. Yeah.
I think they're gonna be able to pay like 2 vets probably a little more handsomely than maybe they should, but they're not gonna feel that money because they've got the contracts they do right now, and these people are only gonna play like 20, 25 minutes a night in the regular season, and that number is probably gonna get cut shorter. Like a name I'm maybe this isn't that exciting, but like a Norman Powell to me is a name that comes to mind. Of sharpshooter off the bench, like to fill in. Probably a slight overpay for what he actually does, but I feel like can do the Devin Vassell job for 20 minutes a night. A Tim Hardaway Jr. is another player of like, again, variety to fill in the guard spot, to help with Carter's deficiencies a little bit. And then a power forward that, like, again, I think you're going to be able to get him cheap. Like, can you have your best season post 27 years old? I don't know for sure. Steve Nash might have the answer to that question. But like low-key Marvin Bagley for just above the minimum.
He wasn't bad on the Mavericks at the end of the season.
Like cool. That's a 6'10", like 240 body, still like has some athleticism, willing to take an outside shot, but more importantly, rebounds and puts back shots. That next to Cornet, that's fine. That can clear up some possessions.
Or maybe you take away Rui Hachimura for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself.
See, that's a player that gets overpaid. So it's like I don't know. I think that's a player that gets overpaid and possibly brought back anyway. So
that's a player I can see him going after potentially too. Rui, I said that's a player I can see him going after.
It's possible.
I just don't think Rui fixes that size thing that we're talking about. A good player.
Yeah.
Still a cool player, still useful. Just, I don't think addresses that immediate need. I don't know if there is like a perfect 4 fix.
How do you feel about Julius Randle on the Spurs? Oh shit!
I'm talking about how he plays, Wes.
We should really talk about the finals. I ain't gonna lie. We should really.
Julius Randle is such a good in theory player in modern day basketball.
He's such a good in theory player, but guys,
he should be good.
Yeah.
He has the size to be physical, to rebound. He should be a mismatch as far as you put a small on him, he can punish him physically.
He can pass a little bit, rebound the ball.
Like he should be.
I could talk Julius Randle being a top 20 on paper player. That's like the skills that he can flash. Dead ass could do that.
Hey man, it sounds like should have been a philosopher then, gang. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Artist drawing it on paper. But yeah, I mean, we should just pivot to the finals.
Sounds like the Mona Lisa in theory, but in reality, shit, man, I ain't gonna lie.
So
you just got swim.
Overall, shout out to OKC again. Though they still had a really good season, I still view them as like at least the second best team in basketball, which is still a pretty good bar. They got some real money moves. They got to make a choice. You're funny. In this offseason. But moving on to the finals, though.
Knicks better or not? Knicks better?
OKC still, as of right now, they're the best team in basketball. They just got hurt. And
man, all I know is
their best player got outplayed. That's unfortunate. But they're still the best 1 through 12 in the league right now. The second best we're about to discuss, though.
Let's get to it, man. The Knicks.
Who's the second best?
Talking about the Knicks.
Team? Oh, fries. Shout out to. I just want to say shout out to JT though, man. Because I will say, as a JT hater, bro, if he did a 60% of what this nigga just did, boy, fuck, man.
Oh, it would. No, it's done. No, yeah. Anyway,
and then you know what's funny? SGA people be like, "Well, it's not gonna happen because he's better than Jason Tatum," which makes it worse. I don't know if you know that or not. Him playing as is now even more unacceptable. Then, if that's the case, if he's so much better than Jason Tatum, how about you?
Is he even a better playoff? You know what?
We about to get to a whole other
that shit alone.
Get Will soon,
Listen, we gotta
get Will soon. OKC, get Will soon. Chet Holmgren. I don't like the fact that your dog's name is Draco. But moving forward, though, NBA Finals, man. We in the building. This is the last series of the year. You have the Knicks versus the Spurs. I do want to say a couple things about one team in this matchup. We spent a lot of time on the Spurs. We do need to get to the New York Knicks. This is a team that I think throughout the regular season did play up and down, but undoubtedly have been like the hottest offense in the playoffs. I mean, they have multiple guys who have been knocking down shots at a high level. I think the cat shit that they struggle with in season and at parts of the Atlanta series has figured itself out to a really great margin. And I think it's resulted in not every game they need Jalen Brunson to, be on ball the entire game and kill. Like now it gives them more counters to be a scorching hot offense still. Also Mikal Bridges, who was like really bad in that Atlanta series, I think at the beginning, is now also elite right now. Josh Hart also has been good. This Knicks team to me is legitimate. I believe we'll talk about this a couple days ago. Like, they are a legitimate threat to the Spurs to me. My problem with the series, though, is I need to see how well New York's able to hide Brunson against this Spurs team defensively. I do want to see how that looks. Also, Karl-Anthony Towns, in terms of his overall decision making and how well he's played in this postseason, can that sustain against the best defense you've played the whole run? I do want to see that.
I agree. I think the Knicks I think we all agree, have been historical in the postseason.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brunson. I want to say actually first, shout out to Mike Brown. I think after the Hawks struggles and kind of realizing an identity issue, I think he did a good job shifting a lot of the offensive identity and shifting it around into, more like team ball than Brunson ball, if that makes sense. Getting Brunson off the ball more, incorporating Cat more into the offense, making him more of a little bit of a hub kind of thing. I think they've just been excellent, like excellent. And I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Mike Brown, in my opinion, because I think he's really done a good job trying to maximize everybody to the best degree while also still maintaining a certain level of like identity as well, in my opinion. So that's my big shout out. And I also want to say shout out to Cat too. Like, Gifted is you're a Cat guy, right? 100%.
I have been, yeah.
Yeah, like, man, bro, Cat's been amazing in this postseason, man, genuinely. And the defensive stuff for me was always a question, but this postseason in particular, I thought he was
good
excellent
on defense.
He's been good on defense this postseason, and offensively, he's been doing the things need be. He didn't really like try to stunt the offense by getting his own thing off. He was more so just in the flow of the offense, and you can see how much it affected the New York Knicks offense as well. He's going to be very interesting against the Spurs, in my opinion. I think he's going to pose a lot of issues because he's much more aggressive as
appreciate the sub, like MB Caddy. Appreciate you.
So I do believe that as well. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a very interesting series. I'll leave it up to Real Talk because he's the Knick guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a big New York guy. So go ahead, man.
I'm actually sitting here looking at
some numbers, right?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I've been high on the Knicks for majority of the season. Then JT came back looking like he was looking, but everything still stands for what I said about the Knicks. Man, they're a really good team. I think they're the best matchup in the league currently for the San Antonio Spurs, due to how good and versatile Cat is offensively at the 5 spot. My question for Mike Brown is going to be, walking the tightrope with Josh Hart and his minutes, because Josh Hart can definitely get in the way a lot in this series if he's not hitting his shots.
Landry Shamet.
That is true. Landry Shamet should come in, and you slide OG up to the 4, Mikal probably to the 3, Shaman at the 2, Brunson at the 1. And yeah, I remember recently on PC, I think the both conference finals were going on, and I said that Mike Brown was the best coach remaining in the playoffs, and everybody looked at me crazy.
That's not crazy at all. I actually agree with that.
Yeah, Mike Brown might if you're taking into like the totality of the season, he might be the coach of the year, in my opinion. Regular plus postseason.
Postseason. Yeah.
If you consider how he was able to revamp the offense, he's still playing Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson at the same time, and still having a top 10 defense is
that means something.
Definitely noteworthy for you and your coaching staff for sure.
That's not happening in this series, though. Say that for free.
I mean, they're going to beat the Spurs because they're better than the Spurs right now, but You know,
Nah, they're not going to beat the Spurs, but it's fine. I agree with some. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
I like
if
these
you want
talks,
to
but
put
let's get
money
to
where
it.
your
Let's get to
mouth
it.
is,
Yeah.
if you want
Oh,
to put a little 20, 50,
he's calling you out.
everyone
Call
put
you out,
on.
As a
KB.
Muslim man, I don't bet. So, hey,
Oh yeah, he doesn't bet. Doesn't bet. Gets me.
and I will say this though: we could, if there's ever a time, and you can remember this, where we do. Actually, no, we will end up meeting each other. Any meal on me.
You said what?
There you go. If you win this series, we link up. I'll buy you a meal. And then if I
Okay.
win, vice versa. We
Are
could
you
do
saying
that.
this
But
because I'm big? Like you just think I just want a meal? 'Cause
Yeah,
no,
you did
man, I
immediately
just
go to a
can't
meal
bet.
though. You
No, I
did
can't
immediately
bet.
go to a meal
I mean,
first time.
that's what
You
that's what
did
my
do that.
no, but that's
You
what
did
my
do that.
that's what my friends and I do. If like we wager
He did that
something, we'll
because
just say
he's a
like,
gentleman, man. Like that's a gentleman thing to do, man.
nah, but like
no,
y'all don't.
I'm
KB,
offended.
do you
I'm
do you
offended,
drink?
actually.
KB, do you drink at all?
No, he
Yeah,
doesn't.
okay.
Jimmy.
All right.
I don't
Then,
think-
I
then he didn't have that as a backup plan. Yeah.
That's
Then
what
it
I'm
was
saying. Like
it was
me
good
and
hearted.
my other friends, just like we wager something and be like, all right, whoever loses has to pay for like the group's
Yeah.
meal, or the winner gets like a free.
I
meal.
know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm fucking with you. I know.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm over
but yeah,
it.
we could definitely do that. You'll owe me a halal, right?
Oh, me allow. Yes, sir. W
No,
allow.
in fact, well, if you win, we should just go to New York. I'll get you a halal car meal right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Staple
Bacon,
meal
egg, and
from the
cheese?
city. Feel me? It makes sense, bro. Yeah, facts.
Bacon
I
is
went
not halal gifted.
It's
No,
not. It's
not
not.
that.
It's not.
No,
He
he
said
just
New
said
York,
the first
so
New
I.
York thing he said.
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about
So I.
halal cart, like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like chicken over rice, gyro, whatever people call it.
That's all I can
don't
eat.
know, but yeah, stuff. Yeah, you can't eat this. It has seasoning. It's not something you can eat. Like,
I'm out, man. I'm out.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. But,
I do want to respond to something in chat real quick though, because Chris knows what he's doing when he says this. The Knicks have been the #1 defensive rating in the postseason. The Spurs will be a better defense. I'm
Yeah,
down and down that hill. I think this series is more about the Knicks overcoming the Spurs based on their offensive counters to their defense. I think what's going to happen, and I really hate this because it feels like such minimal analysis to be like, oh, well, they're going to have Wemby roam off Josh Hart. And that, like, nigga, that's where Deuce McBride and all of their other 3-point guards come in to really alleviate that. But I'm telling you, me personally, I want to see Jalen Brunson's offensive consistency in this series against their defenders. I do want to see how that shapes out, which he's had some sample size of really cooking the Spurs, but also I do think this team has grown a lot in the postseason. Other thing for me as well, KB, and we've been, I think, up and down, right? How good does De'Aaron Fox play in this series?
that's one point that I wanted to get to, and I.
By the way, your microphone's kind of cooked a little bit.
Robot.
I just feel like you got to bring up De'Aaron Fox because we didn't really do that enough, and it's just the finals now. So like, all the he's not playing well.
You're better.
Keep
now.
talking.
Hello. Is this still
good,
robotic?
Good.
Okay.
You good now?
Basically, what I was saying was, I think De'Aaron Fox is the X factor in the series. I think in this series in particular, like for the most part, he's been dealing with injury with his ankle stuff, and I am a critic of De'Aaron Fox because the amount of money he's making versus the impact that he has. But I'll be fair in my analysis. I think when need be, in a lot of situations throughout the postseason this year, he's been good, especially like Portland. I can bring up a few examples. The Spurs in Game 7, I thought he was excellent, especially in terms of when the OKC was making a run. Who was the person to try to really get calm down, stable the offense?
He got
and
some
hit
good in between baskets.
Yeah, it was De'Aaron Fox for sure. I think in this series, for him to exploit that Jalen Brunson matchup, for him to exploit Cat in the pick and roll in space, try to get by him, get 2 feet in the paint. These things to me are going to be very important. Now, the scoring stuff, I think is just going to be a rhythm thing. It's going to have to be he's going to have to insert himself a bit more. But I really want him to hone in on the decision making stuff, like finding the lobs for Wemby at the correct spots, finding your shooters at the correct spots as well. I don't want him to miss an extreme amounts of reads. And I think when he is in flow, it helps the Spurs even more because you can see certain things start to get unlocked more, and you're going to have to start respecting De'Aaron Fox in space more. That helps Wemby with his rim stuff as well. So I really do think he's an X factor. But in terms of, and I want to talk about the Spurs defense really quickly.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of their defense, and I know people are alluding to like, oh, he's going to be guarding Josh Hart and whatnot. Josh Hart's probably going to be running a lot of like guard to guard screens to get Wemby involved. Is what I'm assuming. But most of the time, what I've been noticing throughout the postseason is that Wemby will never, for the most part, leave from the like the corner essentially. Like he'll always be low man. So he'll direct the traffic of the defense and the rotations based off of how he can stay in that area to then help rim protect. Like he does it a lot where he'll tell people to switch, or he'll be shifting and he'll be at like the hash mark and he'll tell the person corner, you'll come shift up, we'll switch here, because he wants to be able to drop and go help. So even when Josh Hart's not going to be on the floor, I think it's going to be a matter of like whoever's in the corner essentially, Wemby's going to be picking up and being the low man for. So yeah. I think they're going to be just living off of that and maybe just trying to close out on those corner threes and just living with like a very elongated Wemby contesting at you essentially. So that's what I'm seeing from their defense going forward in this Knicks series. So yeah.
Derek, do you agree that the Knicks are going to probably try to hide Jalen Brunson on Champagne?
Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense. Brunson's going to be called into action regardless. It's just a matter to me. It's like, how much can Mikal bail him out? Because I think Mikal is going to be the one that has to move the most to cover up for that. OG is going to have the victory assignment. That to me is the story of the series.
Is that real to you though? Like
what, the matchup?
Yeah, do you think he can win that matchup consistently?
I mean, Knicks fans would tell you he would. Statistically, he has been the best Wemby defender, I think, over the last 2 years. So take that what you will. But, I mean, on paper, he's got everything you'd want against Wemby as far as length, physicality, good discipline, willing to get to spots early. Obviously, he's got the mobility advantage, despite Wemby being what he is. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm still trying to rack my head. I mean, we're talking about these defensive matchups. I unfortunately, spoiler alert as far as my pick, I will be rooting for the Spurs the entire way, as I'm opposed to nearly all things New York. But unfortunately, I feel like I'm picking the Knicks.
Okay.
It's just I do think Mitch is being the less experienced coach in this instance. Mike has been here before several times. The experience is on their side. I think the Knicks favor as far as depth. And I just think, like, to get to like the Fox point, I haven't seen enough from Fox to suggest that he's going to be able to go toe to toe. Certainly not with Brunson, but to give that offensive support, I think they're desperately going to need in this series. I think in moments in OKC, it got there's enough of a drought that allowed the Spurs to stay in offensively. I think there's a good chance the Knicks can run up quicker. And I know, we talked about like the pace of play, but I really think that's what's going to heavily affect the Spurs. So it sucks. But I keep picking against the Spurs. It feels like all playoffs, but I do feel like it's going to be the Knicks, sadly. Okay. It just feels like it's their time.
I had a question for you to talk to. I'm in chat. Chris asks, is there a way for the Spurs to guard the Knicks when they go to their 5-out lineup?
It's going to be the same policy.
That's the reason why I had the Spurs beating OKC is because I said OKC's not used to being on the court and there's a better defense than them. And that's what the Spurs are able to do with Victor Wembanyama. The reason why the Knicks are going to beat the Spurs, because I don't think the Spurs are used to, especially with Wemby on the floor, going to be used to people being able to score that regularly on them. I think this series is going to be testing San Antonio. Putting more pressure on them offensively to execute than previous series. Especially when Josh Hart is off the court. Josh Hart off the court, New York has been just lights out as an offensive unit. even with him on. But I think obviously with the Wemby element, they actually just had a little dose of this against Cleveland, where Jared Allen was roaming off of Josh Hart, and then there were times where the Knicks kind of stagnated offensively because Josh Hart couldn't hit a shot and stuff like that. So Mike Brown is going to have to identify that and then take Josh Hart out of the game. Right. If Josh Hart's not going to hit any shots, because one thing he did start to try to do was like, oh, let me crash the glass then against Cleveland, and oh, let me go in there and body contact finish over. Like that's not happening against Wemby. He's just going to block the shot, Josh. Sorry to break it to you. But yeah, that's not an option for you. So he's going to have to be very delicate with the Josh Hart minutes. But when they do have him off the floor, and it's OG at the 4, Cat at the 5, and again, like Mikal at the 3, Shamet 2, Brunson 1, or if you want to throw in McBride instead of Shamet, or whatever the case may be, that lineup is going to be able to score regularly and consistently, in my opinion, on San Antonio. It's going to make Wemby have to guard as well. I do agree with KB. He does kind of, when Wemby's in the corner, he tries to point and pre-switch to stay as a low man. But here's the thing. Guy gets beat off the dribble. You collapse to help at the rim, which you naturally do because you're a shot blocker. And this may be like
it's a dot.
Mikal Bridges you're leaving in the corner, who's shooting like 60+% in the corner, or whatever ridiculous stat it is right now. Like, there's no, Wemby can just not guard X player when they go to certain lineups. And I think that's going to come back to bite them in the butt.
I do think so. Like, the rotations are arguably, not even arguably, between the two teams, they are the best rotating team in terms of defense. Like, they're going to be able, in my opinion, to recover to some of the shooters that are there. Like, I've seen it throughout a multitude of series this postseason. And I do think, yes, the Knicks are shooting the piss out the ball. But again, this is no disrespect to the Knicks, by the way, what I'm about to say.
That shit fake.
From the team. No, it's not fake. I think some of it is a bit gas, a bit of it. Like, there's some things that you just live with at the end of the day, right? You're not going to be, as a Spurs defense, you're not going to be able to take away everything. The fact that you're able to already shut down the paint in of itself with who you have there is already like a blessing. You're not going to be able to take away every single thing. There's something that you're going to have to give up. I do think if someone like Mikal Bridges is hitting 5-4 threes in a game and whatnot, like, or like OG Anunoby's hitting above the break threes at an alarming clip, like, there's some things you're just going to have to be willing to give up. Now, what I do think, though, is on the other end, I think they're going to be able to put the Knicks in some uncomfortable situations with Jalen Brunson and Cat being on the floor, how they can mismatch them for those two, how Wemby can be aggressive in those situations to get Cat into a lot of foul trouble, which then hurts their offense in its entirety, right? So I do think there's areas in which they can exploit the Knicks for their lack of, their two best players basically being their two worst defenders, kind of thing, if you get what I'm trying to say. So like,
yeah,
that's what I think they can really do to them on that end of the floor. But yeah, I agree though to some degree of what you're saying. Real talk is that they're not OKC. They are definitely much more, like, it's more probable for them to be knockdown shooters in the series for sure, and they have proven to be statistically. But I do think some of it's gonna die down a bit in the series, in my opinion. So yeah,
I mean, I don't really know why. When even in last series against OKC, when OKC did go to like a 5-out lineup, I mean, they found great success even with Victor Wembanyama on the court. That's how you get an Alex Caruso 8-3 game, because Wemby's trying to roam off of Alex Caruso and he's hitting 8 threes. Like, to me, it's never good defense to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna hope a good shooter misses wide open shots. If that is part of your plan, I feel like your plan is faulty.
I don't think their idea is to leave like Mikal open, to be honest with you, or like OG open. I think they're gonna close out on these guys like rather quickly. But I remember some of the threes Caruso was hitting. So yes, some of them were open. Then also some of them were just like shut.
A lot of room
some of
the
shots that he was hitting though were just like, no offense, you just kind of live with that. I'm not gonna lie, like, and you can see it is successful, but on a possession to possession basis, it wasn't moving their defense enough to be able for them to actually just changed the whole scheme. I do think they kind of overdone it in some degree, where they like overhelped on Shea, and then you and I agree in moments where they actually just guarded Shea straight up. They found more success, but even then they were still successful. The only problem was, and I do think this is going to be an issue too, is that they're gonna have to close out possessions, and we're gonna see because they've been struggling with that in that OKC series when they are missing the threes and you are closing out properly. Can you get the long rebound? Can you track the ball? Can you box out a man? That's what you're going to be have to do. And I think for Wemby, if you're doing this whole roaming thing, I don't care how far you are from the basket. If you are contesting or not contesting, you need, as soon as that ball goes up, you need to be tracking that ball and getting that rebound, bro.
You got to crash. You got to crash.
Like,
you got to crash for sure.
Yeah, that's the one thing in the OKC series where I was starting to get annoyed at him at is that his motor, especially on the defensive glass, was just dying. Like there's possessions where like he thinks, oh, I'm 7'6", no one's gonna be able to like outreach me. But some people are just having more hustle than you, gang. You need to like do a better job of that.
So
Yeah, but
like
if
for me,
Cat is able to dominate, I think that's why to me Cat is the most important player in this series for the Knicks. Because if Wemby's going to be trying to roam off some wing or guard or whatnot, then like that means Champagny is guarding Cat or something. And one thing I was begging Chet to do, but again, he's 175. I was begging him to get on the offensive glass. That is something I don't have to beg Karl Anthony Towns to do because he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the league against centers, let alone 6'8" niggas. So I think that's going to be a problem that San Antonio addresses. And if you're the Knicks, what you're trying to do, if you can, is get Victor Wembanyama to have to guard Karl Anthony Towns. Because now, I mean, we all know there is no
Yurmov Cat is going to get real dangerous. Yeah.
Cat can shoot for real. And then now we can start doing some of the stuff that we've been finding successful as far as working Cat as an offensive hub. And now we're getting these back cuts and these off-ball actions that can now result in layups because Victor Wembanyama is at the top of the key standing there with Karl Anthony Towns as he's going through all of the options.
I will say real quick, KB, because I think we're about to make the same point. I do feel like the Spurs are more disciplined than every single team the Knicks have seen thus far in the playoffs. As far as that, being disciplined on not getting beat by, Knicks hub actions with Cat. I will say too, to that point, real talk. I mean, I agree. I think Cat's the most important player in the series because if he plays his best basketball, that to me is that is the difference maker. The thing is, like, Cat has taken the fourth most shots. Like, part of his success has been his role has decreased a ton. So for the Knicks to most likely come out like the strongest, have the most success, it would involve Cat shooting, maximizing space, etc. But that would be kind of atypical to what they've done this run so far. So I'm not questioning his ability whatsoever. Cat obviously is one of the best shooting bigs, period. It's more about, is that the game plan? Are the Knicks going to alter the game plan a little bit, say, okay, we want Wemby to be pulled because of Cat shooting, or are you going to play the same style, hub action, get guys moving, Brunson makes decisions, and then, everybody else become a sniper and stay a sniper? That's what I'm more curious about because I don't think you changed the recipe game one as far as Cat taking more shots.
Well, that's why, like, to me, it's not about Cat shooting. To me, it's about him dominating the glass. That to me is the force of, we have to put Wemby on Cat.
Were you not just saying about having Wemby get pulled from the paint because of Cat being a threat to shoot?
Yeah, but what I was saying is because you have to guard Cat when he's at the top of the key. Not just because of the shooting, but because they're now using him as a hub. I'm saying early on, you're probably not doing that as much. If I'm Mike Brown, I'm having Cat be somewhere around the dunker spot or something like that. Because if Wemby's going to be guarding some other player, then I need Cat to dominate the offensive glass. To me, him
Mhm.
doing that needs to force the switch and have Wemby then contend with him on the boards. And now it's like, okay, now we can get into our Cat hub game, which now then brings Wemby out because he has to be on Cat because he's punishing the smalls on the offensive glass.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not saying this is an incorrect point. I mean, I feel like the Spurs battled kind of a recipe like that pretty recently with OKC, as far as I heard in chat. The lineup, I'm very curious to that point, is like, Mitch Robinson and Cat playing together is what I'm curious. Like, do they absolutely dominate the boards in that instance? Or is it going to be a similar like thing where it's like this person kind of hang around rebounding? Because to me, then it boils down to what Junebug had brought up earlier. It's like Josh Hart and OG are exceptional rebounders for their position. Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper have been absolutely sensational rebounders this whole postseason. That second chance thing, it kind of makes or breaks the series, especially because we know second chance opportunities are the best three balls in the entire league. So whoever gets the most of those probably wins the series. So that's why I'm curious, because it's like I agree with you. On paper, Cat should dominate matchup. If it's Champagny or whatever that's stuck guarding him, he should just get 4 offensive boards a game. But we just saw it with OKC, and they would even win the glass matchup sometimes, but still lose.
So that's
the thing.
I agree.
Oh, sorry about that. You can go ahead, KB.
No, you can go ahead. I feel like I've already said a lot about this. You go ahead.
So like that's true. I will say this. I feel like Luke Cornett could match the Mitchell Robinson minutes a bit better because of how Mitchell plays. I'm also wondering like how real the hand thing is and how that will impact the rebounding on top of the free throw shooting. But my thing is this though, like offensively, the Spurs have more guards who can get downhill. Yeah,
Nigga can't shoot free throws with a good pinky. So it don't
I
matter.
know. So just imagine what what I'm saying. But anyway, like
It'd be fun if he shoots like 80% now.
Honestly, hey,
locked in.
And I'm gonna
go
put
to one
in his
hand.
contract.
Go to one
I'm
hand.
gonna put in his contract that your pinky must remain broken for your entire tenure.
That's how you got to play for us. Yeah.
He is set to play game 1 if that wasn't already confirmed for audience and the panel. He is
talking about Mitch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm not saying Luke needs to play in the all 5 out lineups. No. But I'm saying like if the Knicks want to go double big, the Spurs can do that. Like I think that's a thing they can do. I think we've seen Luke as a good, I would say, drop big, which is possible. But my thing is this, though. Offensively, I really feel like the Spurs guards can get downhill on that defense, especially if you're going to have one of your better wings guard Wemby. And that's my thing. Like, I like people love to shit on who Castle is because of the bad process at times, but he's relentless at getting to the basket. Like, I think that's going to really open up more and more opportunities. And the one thing I'll say too, I think Julius Champagny is an underrated, like he couldn't shoot for shit for the entire OKC series, but he could get on that glass too. Like that to me is the way you counter what the Knicks are doing with their spacing, is really making them pay more and more offensively. Because I'll say this too, if you're stressing out the defense of, let's say, Mikal Bridges, you're going to sap him offensively. And if Mikal is the weaker link in terms of, I think, shot making, because again, I personally would trust OG Anunoby over Mikal in terms of hitting shots, that's going to also sap at the series. So defensively, I want to see how the Knicks are able to guard them.
I agree. I think, I feel like we've said a lot already, but in terms of, I want to talk about the Spurs offense again. I think their best thing to do for their own defense is to get Cat in trouble with fouls. Like, if that kind of makes sense. So
absolutely.
Get your defense set 1-2. He's out the game more. It's going to be more of a trouble for them to be able to then create. Because then Mitchell Roberts is going to have to come in. I guess at that point Wemby will be involved in the pick and roll, but then it's going to be a lot less threatening. Like you can play a show at the level with Wemby and have even if it's deep, like a deep drop almost, you can have someone stunt and recover the ball screen, so there's not really that big of a gap. And if he snakes it, It don't matter what he's sneaking. So, like, I'll be completely honest with you, bro. If you want him to settle for like mid-range jumpers that are going to be contested, then by all means, bro, go ahead. But I do think Cat getting
50% on mid-range some shots.
we're good off that, bro.
We're good off. We're good off actual great 3-level scores that you have to play now, not that fraudulent.
Nah, he is a 3-level scorer. We just played him. We beat him.
You know what, Russell? You actually just jogged my mind too.
We played another 3-level scorer who's actually a better 3-level scorer than him, and we beat them too. I'm
a sidestep that. I'm a sidestep that.
It had no needs.
I'm a sidestep that. I'm a sidestep that. I will say this too.
Hold on, Gifted. I'm sorry. Is Shea not a 3-level scorer?
No,
2.5.
No. Okay.
He's a 2.
Guys. Under the basket, the midi, and the free throw line. That's 3. What are we doing?
This is nasty. This is
I
knew Derek was gonna do that too.
Just gotta count.
Hey man, is that Shea or is that Embiid? I'm just saying, bro. Hey, bro.
We take 3 threes a game and make one of them. Hey, I'll take my 33% over 29. Thank you.
Shit. Yeah. Facts.
But how is Joel Embiid more respectable out there than Shea? It's
14 points game. Okay, so
what? Hey. Nah,
we were hurt again.
No.
Yes.
Now, what's your D-point do against Wemby? Huh? What did he do? Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I mean, nothing cool. What else was I gonna say about this shit too?
Can we talk about Fox again real quick?
Yeah. So
I'm okay.
I wanted to build off of KB's point as far as like. To me, the Spurs' best defense, ironically, is their offense. In that, like, I agree as far as Castle just barreling into Cat is guaranteed some foul trouble, which is great. To me, you can get Cat out of the whole ass game if Fox can get back to any kind of version of himself. That to me is like, I don't really know what the Knicks counter to that is. Now, the ankle is the problem. I have no idea if that's anywhere close what it's looking better. Like.
Yeah.
So
he just came off of a 7-game series too. That's the thing. It's not
right.
like
Not a lot of rest. Don't know what we do about that. But if he can get any foul trouble on their bigs because he can get a step on, presumably every other wing except OG, because I just don't think OG won't have any reps against Fox, more than likely, barring some switches.
Funny enough, though, to that point, their latest matchup, March 1st, OG starts the game on Fox.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
Season, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like, listen, I might be a hater. I'm not a fan of the OG on Wemby shit. Like
was Brunson guarding? Vassell?
Had to be Champagne, right?
I ain't gonna lie. At that point, I'm running like Vassell curl action with Wemby as the screener game. I'm getting everyone got to get involved on that game. I'm not gonna lie.
And I think Vassell as like dead eye shooter could be really impactful as well. Like I feel like you have to burn what the Knicks want to do with your own shooters, and I feel like Vassell showed you he can hit big shots. I feel like Champagne
right now, if they put him on Vassell, bro, all they have to do, Wemby set a back screen for Vassell. That's all you have, or vice versa. Vassell set a back screen for Wemby. I'm telling you right now. It's free eats down there, bro. Or from 3, depending what you want to do off of that back screen. Like, it's endless.
No, he was guarding Harrison Barnes because Harrison Barnes was.
He was
Harrison Barnes.
The thing is with Brunson is gonna have to guard somebody, and whoever he is guarding, just please use as a screener. Please.
Okay.
Whether it's on or off the ball, please.
Okay, so now I got it back in my head too, right? The other thing I was gonna say is like, I think the Spurs, and this might sound crazy based on how he's played in the playoffs, but I think the Spurs are gonna have moments where they're just like, we've learned from OKC series, we're just not gonna leave y'all wide open. Beat us, like actually beat us. Like we have guards who can stay in front and make Jalen Brunson actually get by you. Now he's a great offensive player. He's going to have games where he absolutely will fry that coverage. But again, it's about mixing it up. I think they have the guards and like the bigs, I think, to do that. Like not every play where it's like overhelp, because obviously if it becomes too, I would say, predictable, you get burnt that way, of course.
And I ain't gonna lie, this team has not seen no P away that's like the Spurs, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The niggas played the
Tyson
Hawks.
Daniels is the best point of attack defender.
Yeah, this
Spurs
is
team
still on
thus
Spurs.
far.
Still on.
He
still on
was,
Spurs.
You just
but at the
said
same time, he was
they
completely
bring no
unplayable
point of attack.
offensively.
To bring up a better point of attack, and now you're saying the Spurs.
It's not okay.
I'm
Sorry,
trying
the
to-
collective of point of attack defenders, I should say, maybe like that
I'm
they have
trying
on
to
their team.
think. Like
true
to
too, Chris.
Gifted's point, if I'm the Spurs and I'm Mitch Johnson's coaching staff, game 1, knowing the Knicks are coming off full rest, do I play over helping on Brunson, see what the Knicks are made of? Are they actually ready for the moment? Or do you play home, risk Brunson going off and cooking you?
I play home because
like
you beat them when they was doing that.
That's the thing.
What?
Like,
to your point, here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because what also happened in that OKC series, I think Brunson is also looked at that. Oh, are y'all willingly switching Champagny out here?
mhm.
Is that
Right,
what's
right.
about to happen?
Right,
So I just need to bring him into the action, and then I get Champagny.
right.
Facts. Okay, we can do that then. I think it's going to be what I'm interested in saying is their pick and roll coverage.
Yes,
That's
yes.
really what
Great point.
I want to see out of them, because I'd still like, to your point, Derek. Jalen Brunson just isn't as ISO heavy as Shea. So I don't even think like there'll be as many possessions where they can just sit down. Okay, Shea's right in front of us. We're gonna load up here, and then we know we're forcing like the
Mhm.
far side skip or whatever the case may be. Like, I just don't think New York is going to play offense like that. Even if they're
Okay.
just in man and whatnot and women, I still think there's going to be like a flow, some motion, some actions going on, to where it's not like, oh, we're just loading up on Brunson and then that's it. I don't think the Knicks are playing basketball like that anymore.
No,
Okay.
I mean, that's
I
the
agree
bet.
with that. I think my question is more of like, if we're inviting Brunson to attack the one-on-one matchup, making him be like,
Mhm.
we're not going to let anyone else get hot. You can keep running your motions and stuff, but the Spurs are agile, good enough defenders. We can cover that well enough. If you want to absolutely barbecue whoever, if Brunson wants to barbecue whoever is in front of him and
I
go
think that's
for
how you
50
got to
game
play it to
one,
me. Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering. It's like, yes,
Mhm.
Brunson absolutely can do that. Now, the flip side is, okay, Brunson cooked one of our guys, but the rest of New York hasn't gotten hot yet. Is
Yeah.
that better for the longer part of the series than presumably what you would do
Yeah.
is give help on Brunson creation and then risk the snipers of the Knicks, beating you. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm interested. And would I even put Castle on Brunson game 1?
I'm gonna say it is, Derek, and here's why, right? If we can all agree that right now the Knicks are the hottest team overall in NBA, the way that you, I would say, quell that is you force them to go. Like I said this last year, the problem with the Knicks last year to me was they were better when it was either Brunson in the non-cap minutes or cap without Brunson, where like that ISO shit where like the ball doesn't go anywhere else, that made the Knicks more beatable. To me, I would want to see Brunson fry those coverages to get the role players cold and then have to build up their own rhythm. Like, my thing is this: don't be predictable with whatever you do. I think it's about the dosages within the game and how you play that, in my opinion. But I'm not overreacting too crazy. Like it's based on how the runs are going for me.
Yeah, of
This
course.
also implies, though, that like the Knicks aren't playing in transition or with pace as much as they've been in these playoffs.
That's fair.
That's going to be a big part of winning this series if they're trying to do so. Playing with pace, advancing the ball via the pass, off the rebound, and then kind of get even like stuff as simple as that. Just advancing the ball and running hard in transition usually gets the defense in a scramble. And so even like some of their principles that they want to uphold, kind of get thrown off due to the cross matching. Sometimes if you get out and run hard and you play with pace and stuff. To be honest with you, the Knicks a lot this playoff run have just reminded me of the Pacers of the past 2 years.
You've been saying
And
that, yeah.
I feel like
Mm.
the everybody's like, oh man, if you want to guard Indiana, you do this, and it's like, and come to find, it's just not guarding Indiana. It's like, especially if they're just going to make shots, but they do so many things that encourage great shot quality. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe you do boggle us down in half court a little bit. Well, now we're going to be more intentional in getting out in our lanes and running in transition when we rebound the ball, or even pushing after makes. We'll even do that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the Knicks are just going to score the ball.
I mean, but
I
that's
hear
why
that
I like
real
the series
talk.
because like I think the Spurs are like one of the best transition defenses in the league as like a counter to that too. Like I'm not sure like how confident I am in them consistently killing them in transition because the Spurs are capable of like having the speed and like overall thing to get back. And also like I think this is crazy because I probably shouldn't say this, but if you put a gun to the back of my head, I think Castle probably has less turnovers in this series. And that's a huge part of it for me.
That's not crazy at all because the OKC prides itself on forcing live ball turnovers. The Knicks are about stopping possessions. Like that's the difference in their defense. I agree, real talk, as far as the transition. I will point out though, the last two teams the Knicks beat in the playoffs were my Sixers and the Cavs, who are objectively worse transition defensive teams, but also play bigger basketball and slower. So that's like the one thing I think now when Cornette's on the floor, it's a different story. The Knicks should run him off the floor, and that should be offensive strategy number one and really number 2 and 3 is just run Cornette's ass off the floor, tire everybody else out. Once Webby comes and checks back in, whoever was on the floor for those runs should be absolutely exhausted. And then you get back to half-court offense, you get back to scramble, is what it is. Yeah, June facts. Cornette's the sprinter. Chase
we
down
did see
blocks.
Cornette sprinting that one. Yeah, nah,
big facts. Big facts. So I agree. That's the thing. Like, I'm picking the Knicks in this series begrudgingly for multiple reasons because I think they have enough counters on top of the experience thing that the Spurs keep proving me wrong on. But the Spurs do have so many answers to the typical questions that the Knicks can force teams into. Which makes it so difficult. So it's really just becomes like a philosophy thing for me more than anything else. It's like the Knicks on paper have more experience, have the physicality, but have better know-how and depth to counter the Spurs. But despite that, the Spurs keep winning anyway.
I also will say this: I think you keep the pace high because we've seen Wemby tire throughout a game.
Sure.
Also, they just have more bodies. So what I'm telling our group is, hey, every minute that you're out there,
Mike, I appreciate
run
you.
hard.
I'm reading it out in a minute, Mike.
Get after it on the glass. If you need a break, we have a sub for you. But I think the pace being high in this series to me does nothing but favor the Knicks because again, you can tire out their best player, and we just have more bodies to stay more fresh. That was a lot of how the games in which OKC won. If you really go and be like the Spurs bench is capable of being thoroughly outplayed. Like
for
sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even if you like the Knicks can lose the Wemby minutes and win the series. Like that's very possible. Now you can't lose them by like a whole bunch, but let's say like
and the margin
by the end
matters.
of this series, we see the Spurs were like +9 at the end of this series when Wemby was on the court. However, they were -45 when he wasn't. Thus, the series. Like that to me, that's actually probably how the Knicks are going to win. I'm not going to because Wemby can basically play you to a draw. But if you can win every opportunity where he's not out there, and again keep pace high to where maybe he's like edging out, towering out towards the end of these games, and then I have my closer in the real 3-level scorer in Jalen Brunson, right, who can hit pull-up threes out of pick and roll and 50% from mid-range and intermediate area. I'm living if I'm the Knicks.
I just like I think all this sounds good, and I think all this is real, but just in my head, I'm just seeing Cavs just run it back, run it back, run it back, run it back. And oh, real quick, we got a super chat from Mike. He said, "Gifted, when I told you Brunson was better than Shea, you said I was crazy. It's time you acknowledge greatness when you see it. Shout out to Becky Hammond." I want to say this. Can we stop saying Becky Hammond? Like, what she said historically was factually correct. I don't.
She finna get, no.
Oh
I'm
my
tired
God. I'm sick of this shit, man.
He didn't rage quit. West of them niggas want to go around all goddamn year telling everybody that he better than Curry, he better than Kobe, and then get all shocked and chagrined when niggas be like, "Yeah, nigga, no, he's not."
Wait, West been saying that?
Everybody, and I don't know what he did. I'm just talking. Everybody,
I'm mad.
Everybody,
I took that personally.
Consequences to your actions.
Yeah.
Becky Hammond was on national television, and I don't care about the general point she was making because they were specifically talking about the Knicks. She was specifically talking about Jalen Brunson. And so if Jalen Brunson turns around and wins a championship, I'm not mad at Knicks fans and Jalen Brunson fans.
And guess what, though? He hasn't won a championship yet.
Eat it.
So fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, but talk. Guess what, though? He hasn't won a championship.
I'm not mad at them for going at Becky Hammond. They should go at Becky Hammond.
Right.
She was dead-ass wrong.
But they're doing it. But they're saying she's wrong right now definitively. Right. Is my point. They're saying it right now. I'm like, nigga, has the series been played yet? Like,
they're expecting to win.
No, but you're trying to do this like historically. It's only been like like the nigga. Can he be the question? The conversation was at the time. Can he lead a team to a title? He's currently doing so right now. Like he's four games away from doing it. Like, so I do agree with that sentiment. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm bailing out Becky. I guess like at the time it wasn't the same team, wasn't the same coach, wasn't the same personnel. Like,
but he was talking about the player though. That's the thing. It's the player, and that's what we're talking about now. Can this player lead that team? And your evaluation of that player should have been able to let you know that he probably could. The situation may need to be a little bit more help given.
I mean, did you think back then he could be the best player?
I genuinely thought he could be. I swear to God, I genuinely thought so.
Not KB.
The only reason I'll buy it is because Curry is one of two people to actually do it.
Yeah.
No, because I've watched him in the postseason. I'm like, there's a few things he needs to tweak, which he's tweaked. And in the roster also needs a little bit of changing, but it can actually happen. And it's happening. Now, do I want it to happen? Nah, because I want Wemby to win. But it can happen for sure. I ain't gonna lie.
I just feel like if Brunson wins, what I'm going to say is, okay, cool. He's another anomaly to the rule. That's fine. Like, I still think historically she had every right to say what she said. I think back then, I don't think Brunson, I do not think Brunson was a good enough player back then to think he could be the best player on a title team.
I'll tell you why I'm gonna stand 10 toes for Becky the entire time is because Becky said this. When did Becky say this? Do we have a date? Do we have a year?
Like 3 years ago?
Like 3 years ago, right? Like about that now.
I think it was
we are hung up. Let's. It could be. You say 4? Real talk.
I think it was the 2024 season, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so let's say it's 2 years. Whatever. Let's say it's 2 years. We are talking about this talking point from an expert ball knower 2 years ago and holding her feet to the fire. But the amount of bullshit we listen to on a daily basis gets lost and just
let go.
And we just let it go.
Shit off,
we let these terrorists exist in our space on a constant basis. But damn it, one sensible person has a point that gets proven potentially, not even literally proven wrong yet, but potentially proven wrong. It's like, we gotta get her. We gotta get her for this. I can't believe she tried it.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Absolutely no. I will stand by Becky the entire time.
Do people get to on a daily basis go out and say some stuff? Yes.
Yes.
But but what I'm saying is those people most definitely get pushback.
Not nearly enough. For 2 years. For 2 years. For 2 years.
Not 2 years. Not 2 years. This be letting shit go.
With the resume that Becky Hammond has, absolutely not. No, I don't like people that get to spew their bullshit
because they're now.
Oh, real talk in the blender at the worst time. Or maybe I am. I don't know.
No, the Storm got him.
Out
Nope.
in the
The
finals,
Storm
so
got
of course it's going to get brought up. Of course.
That's what.
Hello?
He's back now,
I'm not giving
he's
that.
back now,
I'm
he's
not
back,
giving
he's
that
back.
belt. We could.
Yeah.
We could do this with so many other insane takes that are allowed. I don't care if it's big or small platform. So many asinine takes are allowed just air to breathe when they have no business doing so. But for some reason, Becky made the mistake of showing up on ESPN one day, and her take for 2 years is now
Was a
just
very
held to
rational
this.
take, and they should have acted like it was some crazy shit to say back. No,
I
very
didn't
rational,
say that.
normal
I
take
said-
to
I
say.
said-
Completely
I-
common
look, listen,
sense take.
The-
That
the
might,
historic-
by the way,
the his-
might be wrong.
the historic part of it, sure.
Yeah.
But when you start gifted, I'll give you an example. If I say
Okay.
like certain niggas of a certain height can't lose weight historically,
Yeah.
I'm just making something up.
Got to be
And
fat.
then I use
Right.
you as an example,
Yeah.
right? And I say, yeah, you can't do it. And then you go and do it, nigga. I am wrong. Like that's what it is, because I'm saying to you that you can't do it because of an historic fact, but you went and did it. I'm wrong about that.
So KB, here's my counter, because I haven't been in my agenda bag this whole episode. I'm gonna get into it now. Let me tell you what my agenda is. KB, real talk. Are y'all ready? What my agenda is Brunson is Swiss cheese on defense, and Cat is the best player in the series, and Cat wins the Finals MVP. Are people gonna still say Becky was wrong if that happens? Probably, because they're
Yes.
gonna say Jalen Brunson is the best player on the team. But if Cat is the one actually leading them to the wins,
Yeah, she's still wrong. She's still wrong.
He's still wrong.
I'm not going. Nah, man, you gotta show.
Yeah, but
Gotta
He's
show
the
me.
best
I'm
player
not gonna lie.
on the team. If they win
I
a
got a fresh
championship,
plate.
he would be the one on the championship winning
I
team.
got
The
I got a
best
fresh plate
player.
of food.
And the Knicks have been an
It's
all
warm.
lives matter offense the whole playoffs, man. I
It's
don't
not
know.
even, man.
Don't know.
I don't. It just drives me nuts. It's like, okay, then we gotta start digging up 2-year-old takes for everybody and put them on
They
blast
do
every
do
time
that
they're wrong.
already. What are you saying?
They
That
did that a little bit.
happened.
Not nearly
They
enough.
do that.
Not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough is
real
fair,
talk.
though.
Real talk.
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
talk.
yeah.
I'll say this for the people that are around, like, content creators, not enormous platforms. Yes, because there's super fans that do this on the daily. But the bigger platforms do not get held to the amount of scrutiny that Becky has gotten for 2.5 years for this take. That is my point,
True.
and that's what drives me nuts.
I agree. I do think
Derek,
the pushback was
I just
more
saw
than...
a retweeted Stephen A. tweet.
I think that was last year,
Stephen
DZ.
A.
That was last year.
2021.
Stephen
From
A. said, 2011.
And
Oh.
somebody was
I saw 2011.
and somebody wanted a victory lap on some shit that he said in 2021.
I'm not
Yes,
I,
it
that
happens.
nigga Nick Wright.
This happens all the time.
Bro, Nick Wright
Not enough.
in 2012 was calling Kobe like the third best player ever. And I used that
Yeah.
screenshot to then talk about how he switched up and dropped this nigga to like 9th or something. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. It happens, gang. It happens. But
All I'm saying is win the goddamn series before we say Becky wrong. Win the goddamn series, real talk. Win the series.
I bet.
Win the series. Win.
That's fair. That's fair.
Win the
series, fair.
fucking series before we get on this strong
But I ain't
woman.
gonna lie,
about their
losing to
wrong.
Wemby, losing to Wemby is like, like, it's a low-key a pass a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Apparently
It's
not,
a
because he
little
got
No,
outplayed in 4
it's
games in the
not.
series.
No.
This is his third season.
Nah, it's a pass. Nah, it's a pass.
That's not a pass.
I'm trying to set my nigga up Brunson for Bailey. You know what I'm saying? Just in case.
No.
You don't get any.
This.
Why are y'all
this,
so worried about Brunson?
No.
I'm not even worried about Brunson in this series. I know he's going to be good.
Oh, you know.
Anyways, all right. Can we get into predictions?
I know. Yes.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Let's
do it.
Let's predict, man.
All right, KB, you go first.
Yeah.
All right. I got Spurs. I'll try to break it down game by game. Spurs win game 1. They win game 2. Game 2 will be very, very close.
DZ, yes, he
Game
did
3.
drop 61 on the Spurs. That was like 2 years ago, I think. Right?
It's not the same team. Game 3,
True. That's it.
he will, and he lost. Game 3, they will get destroyed. It will be New York Knicks mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, I truly believe in my heart of hearts will be a Wemby masterclass. You know what's crazy? All this could come back to like bite me in the ass later, but I don't care. They go up 3-1. Game 5, Knicks win. Game 6, they close out in the Garden to lift his first NBA trophy, man. Or sorry, NBA championship.
On a roll. Okay.
So Spurs in 6. Spurs in 6, essentially.
David Stern loves it.
Real quick before I give mine, I want to say to everyone in chat, I'm gonna look y'all dead in y'all face when I say this, bro. Fuck that corgi. Stop showing me pictures or videos of the corgi hitting the ball in the basket to say Knicks win, Spurs win. Let me tell you something. As a 2023 Golden State fan, that fucking corgi lied to niggas and no one brings it up. No one brings it up, KB.
Yeah,
I'm sick about it.
I remember
Don't bring
that
up
Corey. He's old.
Go on, check it out.
Sold my
What is
shit.
it?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah.
And
Where's the 7?
Lonnie Walker had to. I ain't gonna lie. Real talk. Fuck that nigga Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker.
He did all that bullshit.
Fourth quarter of June, Lonnie Walker.
No, because think about it. You didn't benefit off of it. LeBron was ass in the Western Conference Finals. He couldn't do shit to Jokic. Y'all niggas got swept. We were the better choice. Like, bro, why did that nigga have to do that shit?
Why were y'all the better choice when y'all couldn't beat us?
To play the Nuggets? We would have beaten the niggas, bro. Frauds, bro. I swear.
Now y'all would.
I felt that way in 2023. I felt that way in 2026. My heart does not change genuinely, bro.
And shit was sad.
That nigga.
Steph Curry, nigga, please. Jamal Murray's averaging 45 against y'all. What are you talking about?
Weren't
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet?
And Jordan Poole.
A bet.
Have y'all quickly forgotten the magnet ball that Jamal Murray was playing?
He's not doing that versus the Warriors. He's not doing that versus the Warriors. It's not how we guard.
Jokic is frying y'all as well.
That's cool.
He's not,
That's
bro.
cool.
We're
Yeah.
good off that nigga.
No. I'm fine with that. Jamal Murray, like guards don't really get off consistently versus our defense. It's mainly bigs or wings. It's never guards. They're in hell most of the time when they.
But y'all don't guard a 2-man of Murray Jokic regularly either, though.
Nigga, they don't got a 2-man of Steph and Draymond, nigga. We're good.
He's not averaging 45. I'm not rolling on that.
We're good, man. Anyway,
I'm not saying win the series. I'm just saying that nigga Jamal Murray
45. I was being hyperbolic.
Okay,
obviously.
We should have went. We
he
should
go
have
average
went back.
24, 24 and 8.
He's averaging a very
24 and 8.
efficient 27.
Not very efficient.
He's
definitely not very efficient.
Definitely
He's averaging 19. He's shooting 44%.
I don't know about very efficient. I don't know about very efficient.
He's getting his points though.
Yeah.
Niggas talking about y'all have
taking 20 shots.
So what?
We have
Nikola
Wiggins.
Jokic is screening GP2
Wiggins
off,
and Drew.
He's screening Wiggins off of Jamal Murray.
Guess what? GP2 like horses too. Now what?
You have one of the smart. You have arguably the best defender of his generation chilling right there.
GP2
We're
like
good, bro. Don't worry.
GP2 likes horses as well. Now what? Now what?
Yeah.
GP2 what?
It don't matter.
I don't know. He said gifted just predicting.
I got my
for my prediction. I've kind of got the inverse to KB's. I think the Knicks well rested steal game 1. I think the Spurs get game 2. I think the Knicks get game 3. Spurs get game 4. Knicks steal 5 and then win. New York burns its own city down in game 6, and the Knicks win the championship. Unfortunately,
I
hope I'm wrong.
Going to that parade too. By the way, they're not far from me. I ain't gonna lie. If they
Actually,
do win,
it wouldn't be a bad drive for me either.
If they do win, I'm shamelessly going to that shit, bro. You know how lit the city finna be? Oh man, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I wish I could be up in New York when they hoist the trophy, just to be in the manic of it all.
Yeah, just to see what it look like.
Yeah, summertime.
If we're doing game by game, I got the Knicks in 6. I also, Derek, have the Knicks still in game 1. Just think they're going to be the fresher, better team in game 1. I think Wemby responds in game 2 with a masterclass and whatnot. Spurs win that
masterclass and whatnot. That's fun.
I actually think the Knicks then win the next 2 games in a row at home and take a 3-1 lead. Spurs come back game 5, respond. You know, they'll have a pride game because they don't lose at home and stuff like that. And then the Knicks will close it out in game 6 at home in Madison Square Garden, and they'll host the trophy. And then Jalen Brunson will be named an NBA champion and an NBA Finals MVP. And then we're all going to tell Becky Hammond unitedly.
You go with this shit.
Boom.
Respect.
That's how it's going to go.
All right, I'm gonna give my game a game. All right, so game 1. I think the Knicks are better rested. I think it's gonna be the Jalen Brunson game where like it's It's Magnus. Oh my God, is he the best guard since whatever? They win that. I think the Spurs come back, win the next 2 games. So they win game 2 and game 3. Knicks blitz a game 4. Game 5, I think Mikal Bridges hits a big fourth quarter shot, and the Knicks win game 5. And then game 6, pressure on them at its highest moment. Wemby has the game. And then game 7, Stephon Cavs with 32 points, and they win that game. And that's how they win the series in 7 games. I had the Spurs in 7.
I don't know.
I feel like there's going to be some Jalen Brunson moments in this one.
Oh, definitely.
Really,
Yeah.
some real fourth quarter big time shots being made by Jalen Brunson. And then
Dylan Harper.
He gonna have some moments in the series too. He got some moments in the series.
No. Sure. He will. I'm penciling it. He's going to have a 22 point or more game in the series. At least one.
Okay.
He will be frying that.
Talking about Jalen Brunson the way that we should eventually. After this series.
What? So he can be better than Steve Nash? All right, bro.
I think Lil Cornette might have one 2020 game in this series.
Oh, he's already better. So you didn't need the title. That's what you're telling me, man.
Well, I'm just saying that now, being defiant. But
okay.
So
after the series, if he does perform and win the championship,
and then if he loses, then it's still like this,
right? Yeah.
I do. Oh well, I don't want to do this now, but I do want to do this now. Real talk: is he a top 10 point guard if he wins the chip and Finals MVP?
Yeah, he would have to be if he's better than Steve Nash.
So disgusting. Okay,
who's number 10?
I mean, I'll have to sit down and make.
He wasn't. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna make him do the list, but
okay, where
I want him to ballpark it.
A lot for me. I'm shameless. I'm booting John Stockton up. Jalen Brunson.
We want to kick him out anyway, so I'm not. We'll throw any name in there.
I'm generally trying to see how far I can push John Stockton reasonably, and I think I can get to like 13.
He probably can't get knocked. He can't get knocked out of 15.
Kyle Lowry on a good day. I'm joking. By the way, I'm joking.
What are the odds?
How many
of
All NBA seasons is this now for Jalen Brunson? Though that would be like the one thing
is it 4 or 3?
Probably needs to still do.
I will say don't. I'm going to. I'm gonna leave.
This is his third.
Who's getting cold? And I literally have not ate anything.
We've been live for like a while, yeah.
So I'm gonna cut chat. I appreciate y'all. Real talk. I'm gonna catch you a bit. I'm a dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm always tapping with you, Derek. It's good seeing you, Gifted. I'm gonna tap in with you in a bit.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one, man.
Word, peace.
Right. I was asking that because I guess that would be the last thing for Jalen Brunson to do. Is like just need a couple more years of all NBA play, all NBA level play after the chip. I did forget like he wasn't able to come into the league and immediately be the player that he could have been because he was on a roster with a better player than him. So I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, so he's been in New York since when? What, 23?
22.
Yeah. No, because his last year with Luka was in 22.
Yeah, they went to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. And then after that, he goes to the Knicks.
25. This being 26.
Yep.
Okay.
So he just needs some more years of all NBA play, but getting a championship as the best player on the team as a point guard.
He'd be the best Knicks player ever.
No.
Would
he's not better than Ewing?
No, he was not better than Ewing.
Oh no, I can't go.
But if he gets the chip,
if he brings the chip back home to the Garden,
all NBAs.
He's the best Knicks player ever. I feel like if he does that,
he's the greatest. He might be the greatest Knicks player.
That's what I'm talking
ever.
about.
Oh, you're saying talent thing? You're saying Ewing's just more
he's not a better basketball player than Patrick.
Well, talent versus the, what you do with that talent are two different things, though.
He's not a better basketball player than Patrick Ewing. Are y'all disagreeing with that? Or
no, I mean, no, I'm not. I'll take Ewing, but I'm saying like the greater thing is that's what they're gonna say.
Hey, better than Walt Frazier.
Yeah, now I
don't know.
mean, yeah,
You're
bring
just
a
you're
chip
just
to the-
like
yeah.
comfortably anointing him top 10 in point guards, which is a really deep bag. So I don't know.
Well, that's why
I
I'm
need to
adding
see your
him more.
list.
He needs some more seasons, but this gives him a great opportunity to get into that room.
Sure, it's the pass to get into the club. He got his
valid.
cover.
Right.
He got his money for cover.
Right. Correct. But
Here's
he
what I'll
does
say.
need to
Yeah.
have a few more seasons.
So like, I think the degree of dominance from Jalen Brunson in this series, on top of winning, will shift how you look at him in terms of being a top 10 point guard or being consensus best Nick ever. I think if he's able to win and then he adds on more consistent seasons on top of that, it'll probably make it overall consensus. I don't think it'll be consensus. Now, to the fans of the team who have been there for the past 30 years and seeing how bad the franchise has been, they'll probably say, "Oh yeah, Brunson up there," because he literally turned the Knicks around. I can't blame him for saying that, because this team has literally been a laughingstock ever since I was born.
My team was ass like that for that long. I probably glazed the player that got us up out of that. For sure.
What the hell, yeah.
But luckily, my franchise, we've never had to worry about stuff like that.
You're not getting Giannis, by the way.
Years and shit like
I want you to know you're not getting Giannis all season, by the way.
No, we have Luka. I don't.
No, see, that's not the energy, because initially it was, hey, who coming to LA with Luka, right?
I mean, how do you know we're not getting Giannis? Because it's June 2nd. All season hasn't even started yet.
It's not happening. Well, because Giannis is gonna get traded before the draft. That's gonna happen.
Says who?
Says Gifted Hoops. Because I read the reports. Yeah.
What reports?
Oh, the reports that he said. I mean, the report said that y'all were getting. Let me leave it alone. Look,
it never said that.
Reports be saying a lot of stuff.
The reports did say you were getting Paul George, but instead I got him. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, congratulations.
Reports say a lot. I'll have to wait and see what. I mean, where was the report when AD got traded to the Mavericks and we got Luka Doncic? Nobody knew about that.
Yeah, we found out very, very last minute on that.
There's, you know what? Yeah.
I mean, that was a secret.
YouTube.
You don't think you said it on YouTube, Derek?
I don't think I can say it on YouTube.
Now,
I'm gonna have multiple SUVs pull up.
Whatever happens to Giannis, I just think it's going to be a bombshell. I think it's going to be unexpected. Whatever happens, I just don't think we'll.
He's a Sacramento King.
Oh wow!
He'll retire.
No, not that.
He'll retire.
Sacramento King, baby. He gonna turn that franchise around again for 1 year. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'd like to see Minnesota go after him.
My thing is, I feel like they got to trade Jaden to make it happen, though. I don't see how they get Giannis without trading Jaden in that.
Do we keep Io and Dante?
Yeah. But Jaden got to go.
It's fine. And fun, Jaden.
Interested, because a couple weeks ago you said you didn't want to trade Jaden for Giannis before that.
I know, but then I thought to myself, am I really going to let Jaden McDaniels stop me from getting one of the three best
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Will you be thinking about this like, am I really going to do that?
If I can secure Io, though. If
you can secure Io.
What's a little wing in Milwaukee that we might throw in the deal just to kind of show
like AJ Green?
Yeah, another white sniper. You're not getting Ryan Rollins.
Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. Bring Kevin Porter Jr.
KPJ nasty. Give me
not gonna.
That's disgusting.
Just trying to throw PR in the dirt.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'll say this much, man. I love the conversation. I'm hoping we could do another episode 2 games into the series. I'm gonna hit y'all up because there should be good enough space between the series. I think there's 2 days of rest in between both games, right, y'all? Or no?
I really hope so.
I believe so. Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
I really hope so.
Yeah. Here's all I'll say, man. I'm looking at you, Mikhail Bridges. We're gonna see exactly what you'll be able to produce consistently, because Knicks fan, if there's one thing I give them, If a player's playing bad, they don't hold their tongue about it. It's going to be extremely loud, extremely vocal. So, like, I think win or lose, New York is going to be a mess, and I'm here for that. So like, I'm here to see exactly what that looks for. But overall, appreciate the conversation, fellas. Chad, appreciate everyone that has been here the entire time. I want to give big shout outs to my co-host here. Our guy Wes had to go dip out because of some family stuff, but salute to him for prospering through it while he could. I appreciate that. Also, big shout out to KB as well for providing some good value to our conversations. Also, shout out to Real Talk Town Hall going up. I'm pretty sure today you did another episode with Low, right?
Well, that was just
that wasn't Town Hall. That wasn't Town Hall though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was just a stream discussing the finals or whatnot. But yeah, man, last Town Hall did great. Salute to everybody that came through.
Yes,
salute
sir.
to all the support. I think it's now at 24K. So,
Sweet.
I mean, we
Fire.
did a panel episode.
Yeah.
I'll save it for later. But yeah, good stuff.
I'm at the tap in. I have been running on very much fumes these past couple of days because I've got more hours at work. Thanks to all of the support in this endeavor and work, I have been able to pay off my vehicle. So I now own my car in the big 2026. Hashtag financial literacy all the way through. But now I'm finally going to begin getting way more rest. So I'll be available for more bonus streams and whatnot. But again, shout out to you, Real Talk. You've been killing it, man. Derek, thoughts on today's episode, just overall vibes right now?
Yeah, W as always. I'm glad we were able to pencil this in. School's wrapping up soon, so I'm hoping that's going to free up some more time, more off-season stuff. Get back into content creation. I keep threatening it. I'm going to have absolutely zero excuse when
Not just dribble.
Back.
Not just dribble.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You guys. No Funny are constantly, an inspiration. Seeing everyone grinding and having success is really nice. And so it's like more motivation to get back into it for sure. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah, great episode once again. Always love talking.
And my closing takes are, I just want to say, just overall, big shout out to the process of the season. I think for me, that this has been my best year as a creator. I feel like I really locked in a lot in the playoffs. We got up to I think maybe 75,000 views since right before the playoffs, and that's just crazy to me because again, those are big numbers. I don't got no PR team. I don't got no manager. I don't got no clipper. I just, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So I'm hoping to stay as consistent in this process in the off season, and next year gonna be even crazier. Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be some good times catching up on hoops, but. Chat, tap into everyone. All of their links and socials will be in the description box below. The last chat of the day from DZ said Giannis gonna mess around and go to Denver. That's the team he should go to. It won't happen.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Christian Brown in Milwaukee.
I'll be respectful.
Yeah,
we out the mud.
Who is Milwaukee getting? Oh, Jamal Murray, I guess.
yeah.
Nah, that don't work.
Run the point, Giannis.
That don't work.
Yeah, nah. But yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next episode of The Locker Room. Again, go tap into all of their individual descriptions and whatnot. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, people. Have a good one. Remember, appreciate basketball because we're going to be out of basketball. It's going to be a whole offseason of, was Kobe really ever the best player?
The WNBA is on. There is basketball available.
Yes. Do not forget about W.
We do have to
really
get
good
to
basketball being played.
We gotta talk about
what niggas call it now? The MNBA.
The MNBA, yeah. The MNBA is gonna be over.
That
but
one
the
will be
WNBA
over,
lives
but
on.
the W will, yeah.
Yes. Gotta say, Chandy Carter FC, Kaylin Clark. I don't know what's going on, but I've been seeing some bad shit about you. I gotta tap in. And also Olivia Miles.
That's what.
My links are up. We're going way up.
Olivia Miles.
Olivia Miles,
real deal.
Oh man, I was so right about her.
Real deal.
What a pick. But yeah, y'all. Peace out. Catch y'all in the next one, y'all. Salute.